Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Thomas van der Zander, Cannabear, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Mr. Amish, Sensual Goat, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Todd Wazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, JMels24, Unamento, Iron26, Endless, Goldie McKinnon, Retro Bill, Level Playing Poem, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Mel B. Styles, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W., Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Texas Mike, Chow Yun Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in the Politics 24/7 Discord server and G+, so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
May God save your soul. Here you go.
No, thank you.
Wait, you don't want God to save your soul?
Not your God.
Jesus?
Yeah, whatever Jesus you're advocating for. Nope.
Oh, so you're rejecting Jesus now, is that it?
No, your whatever version of your Jesus. Not
There is
my
no
Jesus.
my or your Jesus. There's only one Jesus.
And for yours, whatever that one is, no, thank you. It's beyond comprehension. It's like,
Yeah, God is
yeah,
beyond
no.
your comprehension. You got that right.
Yeah, your version.
Do you think you can comprehend God fully?
Why are you talking about God when you what you mean is NASA? Because NASA tells you what the Earth is, not
NASA isn't
God,
Jesus.
the Bible.
Yeah, they said they found space Jesus.
Yes,
NASA's
Jesus, I'm sorry. Like,
telling you. You believe what NASA says, not what Genesis says, right?
Here, I got a citation for you, right here. Finding Jesus in space. The astronauts come back with beyond out of this world tale.
so I can tell you about this one experiment I did, right? So I was at the beach, right?
No, the
Laying
prediction.
down.
You're supposed to be
No,
doing
no.
the prediction.
Hold on.
Is what
I
it
was
takes
laying down
to,
and taking in the sun, right? And then I was looking at the horizon. Something strange popped up.
take your prediction. Don't let's
Hold
follow one
on.
topic.
Hold on. I already sent
Yeah.
a link for that. Go ahead and
One
read it.
topic to a full conclusion. Okay, right now you said on your globe card you can predict the weather. Let's
And
see
do it
that.
without the insults. Like, you seem a bit bitter. Like, Wolfgang and Wes are being very courteous, but you're the only one here insulting.
Listen, stop being a douche nozzle. You called yourself a globe tard. Just get on with
called
it.
myself a globe
Yes, you
tard.
did.
I said on. I didn't call you a globe tard. I said on your globe tard.
Hey, he never called you a globe tard.
See, this is why when people
I
make
like
these random
Pop-Tarts,
blitz,
so...
if you hear what you want to hear, I'm not going to challenge it. It's fine. Whatever. If I say X, but you hear X plus or X minus, I don't care.
It's minus X or plus X. The minus or plus comes before the algebraic letter, not after.
And I'm
If it's
fine.
after,
If that's what you heard, go with it.
So I was on the beach, right? And I was laying down and taking in the sun. and something strange occurred to me. Like I was looking at the horizon, right, and something weird popped up. I saw the curve, but actually it wasn't just a curve. It was this curvy woman who was laying down right in front of me. How do you explain that?
It's for you to explain. It's your observation, not mine.
I missed what he
You
said.
I don't
Sorry.
know. He's just talking about curvy water right in front of him.
Oh, I thought he said curvy woman or
I
something.
said curvy
Okay.
woman, yeah.
Oh, woman. Oh, okay.
Like she
Oh,
might have
he's
been Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not sure.
dude, you're done. You're bricks. You don't know what's going on anymore.
Wow, he thinks this is a good use of his and our time.
I mean, I'm free. I don't have anywhere to be right now.
We're just
You've got no
entertaining
money?
you, actually.
No money, no place to go.
No, what did you say?
You've got no money, no place to go.
He answered
My
it
dad owns a
correctly.
GTR. Like money isn't an issue.
Your dad owns something, so he can go places, but you can't.
He invited me, but I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Okay, so your
Yeah.
dad has spoken to you in a while. Okay.
Yep.
And then
He's your hero somehow.
He's a human after all, like the rest of us.
okay, so what happens next? What's step 2?
Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
You're supposed to make a prediction. I guess you forgot already.
A prediction: you're gonna breathe and blink in the next few minutes.
And that will cause an earthquake where?
You're becoming funny, Crit. Where did you gain this sense of humor?
You said he wasn't funny before. You said he was mean and they didn't like his attitude. Now you're
Yeah,
laughing.
that's right. That's right.
You
But now I
you-
say that he's becoming funny.
schizophrenic.
Where did he gain
You're
that humor?
schizophrenic. You should mention that bipolar. You have a problem.
I was
When you say that someone gained a sense of humor, that means that they gained it, right? Key word, gained. And dude, you're also bitter. Like, what happened?
See, now he's mad at me.
Yep, of course. If you insult someone,
He's
like, if you...
noticing stuff. These are no.
So what
he's
do
a
you think will happen
noticer.
if you go to a bar at a Friday night, right? And call someone a schizo and you insult them and berate them? You're gonna get smacked in the
Don't talk
face.
like a schizo, and you won't.
You're gonna get
that from
smacked in the face, my guy.
Probably buy you a
You
drink.
talk like a schizo, you're
Yeah.
gonna hear that from me in
Schizo.
public.
Listen, you think that the Earth is a pancake?
Because who said that? I said the surface is flat. So anything with a flat surface in your worldview,
You
that
lost
makes
your
it a
sense of
pancake?
humor already, Crit.
Now he's mad
Love
again.
it. Yeah. So anything with a flat surface, you adjudicate that as a pancake. Fuck.
And I'll stuff it in your mouth, right?
Now
Since
he's
you
angry.
love pancakes.
Yeah, he's going back and forth from like all these different emotional
He's
states.
gonna start
Well, but
laughing
listen,
again.
listen. If you want to gaslight someone,
This
step
is
up your
all
game.
you.
Step
It's
up
all
your
you.
game. Step up your game because you're not competent enough to do the job, right?
Okay,
You're
no
not cut
problem.
for the job.
Use that answer. I'm not
With
competent for the
gaslighting, you need to
job.
be subtle, right? You need to
Okay,
make the
so
other person question their own sanity.
safe
You're not
then.
doing a
You're
very good
safe.
job at that.
So you're safe. You can write that down that you're safe. And let's go on to step 2. So
Hey,
where was the
Clitoris.
earthquake?
Clitoris, calm down.
Where is the earthquake going to happen?
Nobody made the claim that winking makes the earth quake. Nobody. It's all in your head, dude.
So we agreed that gyroscopes don't measure level flatness.
He might not be there yet.
Right.
So, Crit.
He doesn't know what the gyroscope is.
Oh, it's my Romanian friend. How are you, Get Beget? Long time no see.
Yeah, this is the wrong day. Wrong day.
You
For
call me
long
Romanian
speeches.
friend,
Nathan Oakley Day. It's
and
wrong day for long speeches.
yeah, he calls me his Romanian friend, but I have no shit clue who he is.
Oh, it's been a long while. It's been a year or two, of course.
Yeah, get. Did you
Oh.
know that gyroscopes measure geometry?
Doing garbage bins.
Yeah, I heard that.
Did you?
Listen, they're also in
Yeah.
garbage bins, which prove the globe Earth.
Yeah, hotshot.
My
What's the
garbage is
spinning
out.
part of a gyroscope?
I took my garbage out last night. It's in the street waiting, like everybody else's, and none of them have gyroscopes on them.
It's your
The
local home
rotating part.
garbage bin, idiot.
How many rotating parts does a gyroscope have?
Depends on how many pancakes are into garbage, right?
He's done.
There's a minimum number.
6 pancakes.
Okay. On how many axes does a gyroscope rotate?
1, 2, 3.
3 axes of spin, right? Yeah, that's good. And how do you call the gyroscope rotating part?
How do you call it again?
Crypto, can you mute?
Oh,
Flywheel?
sorry.
I mean, English isn't my first language, right? So
Oh.
it's the rotor, right? The gimbal of
Rotor
the
or
rotor.
flywheel? Yeah.
Mhm. So get. I had a Romanian
Yeah.
friend once, right? And he told me if
So
you want to greet someone,
I
right?
posted something for you. We're not talking about that. Look, I posted something for you in chat. Read that and tell me how many gyroscopes that has. That's the kind that we
Idiots,
have.
idiots. I didn't say that all garbage bins have gyroscopes. I said the one at my workplace had gyroscopes.
Look at the
Okay, go ahead and
jam. You
post
said you
that
want.
one.
Gyroscope.
Go ahead and post that one.
Yeah, sure.
You said you worked at a gym and you know when someone tips them over.
Well, I don't know why they had it, but they definitely had some sort of gyroscope inside them.
So, are you a fan of tipping
Tipping
or not? Not a fan of tipping.
depends on what we talk about, like tipping at a restaurant. I mean,
Like
sometimes if the service is
garbage
pretty
bin
good,
tipping.
like putting money in garbage bins.
No, tipping garbage cans over.
Oh, like that. Oh, you would be surprised how much people fuck with how do I say it? Garbage bins
Please don't swear.
in gyms. Like one time, I come back and open up the whole place, right? A gym that I run, and the whole place is like the whole garbage bin is all on the floor with all the garbage out.
You guys
Like some
don't. You
guy
guys
with the
don't.
void heads.
You guys don't clean your trash every day. Then it's a dirty
Oh, we
gym.
do. We do. Like we close at 10:30 or something, and yeah, we start a closing procedure with cleaning everything and taking out the trash at like 9 or 8.
Oh, only one time a day?
Oh no, like that's the final tour, right? We do that
Nobody
every
believes
hour
you
or
have
so.
gyroscope. Post your gyroscope garbage can. You're getting muted in a little bit anyway.
Oh, power abuse, right? Makes you such a big tough guy.
No, because
It's
you got
because
potty
there's a
mouth and
show
you're not
that's
going to
going
stop.
on soon.
And you
Yeah,
know that you're
look.
going to keep swearing even after you've been asked to stop. So you're going to end
Wait,
up
when
on
it was
mute.
I asked you to stop swearing, you guys are insulting me left and right.
Dude, I'm just telling you what's going to happen soon.
He's
Show is
making a
starting.
prediction.
Prediction, yeah.
I predict
Not gonna have the chance to tell me about his Romanian friend.
So there are garbage bins with infrared sensor detectors. Damn, that's wild.
What's your name here?
Garbage can
Yeah.
in my recording studio has infrared, so when you wave your hand over it, it's got a proximity sensor. The lid opens by itself, so you never have to touch it.
You know, I
Italian
haven't
guy.
seen. No, but that was a big shocker to me as well when I saw those gyroscopes inside those garbage bins, right? Because I haven't seen it anywhere else before. For
Proximity
some reason.
sensor is not a gyroscope.
No. Like I'm just looking up for gyroscopes in garbage bins, right? And this is I'm reading that as well, like infrared shit for some reason. These are the search results. I don't seem to find anything about like gyroscope in garbage bins, but that's weird part as well, right?
You
I
are
haven't
talking
seen.
nonsense. You are talking
Dude,
nonsense.
I'm gonna take a picture next time I go. All right, and I'll.
Good morning,
you
everybody.
can
Sorry
take
to bump in.
pictures.
What the hell? Gyroscopes and garbage bins? What's going on,
Yeah,
Radwin?
He says
Yeah.
that garbage cans have gyroscopes.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the gym that I
too.
once worked at, had gyroscopes in their bins. That's what I said.
So
I
that they
didn't
don't
say
tip
that.
over?
Because maybe they
I know,
threw out their
perhaps.
gyroscopes because they don't do anything for you.
I mean, if you
No,
got
no,
a flywheel in a garbage bin, the garbage bin won't be knocked over as easily. So maybe there's that.
Yeah, but the thing is, the
Yeah.
gyroscope was implemented inside the garbage bin itself. It wasn't like just sticking loosely or anything. Like, I'm just
It
gonna take a
sounds
picture
to
next time.
me. It sounds to me like you lost your vocation.
Vacation?
You had, yeah, you had a job which required no brains. You got that job, and now you lost it.
Oh no, like the thing is, it was just a job that I did while I was studying at the university, right? If you want
You
to like put the
sound.
rank on me,
Listen. You really sound like a lost cause.
you know what this is like? Like it's like you go run like a KFC in a black neighborhood, right? And you drop $1 bills as a joke, and
Dude,
everyone's like coming after you.
It's a joke.
hey, so what brought you to this chat room?
What
Oh,
brought
wait a
me to
second.
this
This
chat?
Italian guy. This
It's an
Italian
old
guy.
reunion.
Stop, get, and you stop too. He was an ex gold member from the 24/7 server.
Heard that. I cannot believe that.
Ego
That this
slave.
guy was a
What?
gold member.
He was
Yeah.
silver. He was silver. I looked it up.
Yeah,
He
silver.
lied when he
Okay.
came
Oh.
in here.
Yeah, he lied about being. He forgot what role he was, I guess.
No, I didn't forget. I was just messing with Joel.
Gold
said
plus is
that-
a good way to like forget because you can err on the side of pumping up your status a bit more.
I
Yeah,
had
it's just
thought that it
It's not
was
like he was.
possible.
It's not like he was silver member and was like, "No, I was valued, guys. I was valued." No, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gold plus."
No, that was probably way
Oh
back
no, I was
when if
valued
you
as well.
sat in the room long enough, you would get silver.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was valued as well. I had that role too.
Yeah, well, honesty, from our community is something that we uphold and relish and try to preserve and protect. So,
I mean, the thing is, I wasn't even trying to infiltrate or make fun of you
What do you
guys.
think
When I
the
was saying,
value role?
okay.
no,
What do you
listen,
think-
I was trying to
I'll
understand
let that
things from
slide.
your
I'll let that
perspective.
slide a little bit. Okay.
What do you think
I
the
was trying-
value role was?
I mean, people who are valued, I guess.
No, someone who
Oh.
has a values-based belief system.
No, like
It was one of the-
valued. The D at
valued
the
is
end,
great.
right? And you said
Yeah,
something
you
is valued.
Valued. Yeah, you were coming from like a values-based worldview. Yeah, some of the roles were a little confusing for members who didn't really know how we did things. Yeah, value didn't mean that you were a valued member of the community. Everyone was. Everyone's valued.
It's just
Valued
tagging
is
you,
everyone who
Yeah.
comes the second or the third time in the server, so he
Dude, it's a way to
becomes a
tag you so
member.
Get
you know
begets.
where
This
you
might refreshen your
stand.
memory a bit, right? Like when I was still in the server, I was the guy who you spoke with about Dracula and how like people would get punished extensively if they like even as much
Sounds
stole
about
a
right.
penny. Like
I
you
don't
said
think
something along
anyone's disputing that you're from the old server, dude.
Oh no, but he doesn't remember me, so I was just making things clear.
Okay.
I know I spoke with guys in here about Dracula and stuff, but those are were short discussions, and they have no relevance with the server here topic and stuff like
Oh no,
that.
it was like somewhere in
How'd
the
you?
morning or something. Like I remember, and we were going on for like a whole hour talking
Okay.
about history and whatnot because no one else was around to talk flat Earth. Like it was in the
Yeah,
24/7.
1 hour
About right.
conversation is a short conversation. It's not
But
a long
so what
one.
I want to know is, if you've been away from the community for so long, how'd you find us on this server?
I mean, I was on this server already for quite some years. That's the thing.
Oh,
I mean, I got banned once, but that's about it.
We've been here over a year. How did you find us now?
so yeah, I'm
Oh no, I
curious how
was
you found us exactly. I mean, you're not answering that, so I'm like wondering what's going on here.
I was surprised that you guys found your way in politics and
Dude,
religion.
surprise,
Right?
like the biggest politics server, like one of the two. It's not hard to find.
Yeah,
No, I was
they
surprised that you
invited us.
guys got your
Why are
own.
you questioning him?
room.
Why are you questioning him?
He had.
I
I
just
don't know
want
if
to
you
know how
knew
he
this.
found us, and he's not answering. Like this is the
So
weirdest thing. I'm like,
It was
hey, we
VIP.
ask a lot of newcomers the
What?
same question, and he's not answering it.
He probably doesn't know that VIP partner. We were on the
What
server.
matters is what does he have? What does he know? What does he have about the shape of the Earth? Man, trying to call us a
Nothing.
flat pancake.
Nothing. We've been through
Yeah,
all
he
that.
said that garbage cans have
Oh, come
gyroscopes in
on.
them.
No,
then
that's not what
said
I
that
said.
you
That's not
have
what
to
I said.
use the
I have to correct
globe.
you again. The gym that I worked at on the side had gyroscopes in their bins. That's what I said. I didn't
To
say that
tell if
all
they're
garbage
flipped
cans.
over or not. In his
Therefore, Earth is a
worldview,
globe.
a gyroscope is a level.
Earth is actually not a globe. What it is, it's a demented circle. I mean, a sphere.
It's a geoid.
Round? Would you call it round?
No, I wouldn't call it round because round has an even shape, if that makes sense.
Would you call it flat?
If it was flat, I mean, my reality of a flat is flat. So me walking outside, that's flat.
How about
Boy, it really came.
Reality of flat is flat. What?
Yeah. So when we talk about flat Earth, we talk about reality, right? Because we can't see from outside the space, right? I mean, you can agree on this, right?
Right.
Right, space is
Exactly.
not real.
That's the conclusion that flat Earth has come to be. Yeah, so when we look outside in the sky, we see blue, well, the color blue from my reality. So I
In
don't see
daytime.
space.
At nighttime, I don't see blue.
Yeah,
It's
nighttime
dark
we
blue.
see black. We see
It's
black.
actually dark blue.
Not really black. It's
Purple.
like a dark
Exactly.
blue.
Yeah, dark blue.
So when you talk about flat Earth, we have to talk about reality. And do you guys know what reality means?
Yeah,
So when we go
it's
outside, look,
objective.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Do you think reality is objective or subjective? Okay, I was asking if you think reality is a
You can make clear when you asked it
subjective thing or
one time, but
an
Yeah.
objective
So
You're cutting out.
experience that you can have.
You don't
You're
have a
cutting
good
out.
signal.
I'm assuming you said it's
All right, sorry, I'm
reality
in
is
a valley.
subjective. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think reality is subjective.
Huh?
how so?
Okay, so why are you here?
Hold on. How so?
How so?
It's a very dangerous thought.
You
Nathan.
tell a schizophrenic person that the person is not outside.
Are you schizo?
Oh my god.
No. Just imagine.
No.
The
That
schizophrenic
person's
person.
subjective.
But hold
That
on.
person's
The question
Yeah,
was to
reality
you
is not
directly,
imagination.
asking you if reality was subjective or objective, and you said it's subjective, and then you bring a schizophrenic into the picture. We asked you, not a schizophrenic.
unless you were schizophrenic.
No, I'm trying to make a point here.
Ask you to
If
You're
there
imagine
were,
not.
schizophrenic, yeah.
if you don't want to
And
listen,
now
that's
he's
fine.
actually imagining reality.
So reality is
No,
objective
see,
and
this is what I
relative,
mean. You like
not
you like to
subjective.
twist the words. You like to twist everything I have to
Oh,
say.
No, we just like straight
actually
talk, dude. Do you know what
completing
straight talk is?
the
You're not
words
doing it right
that
now.
you're
You're
saying.
talking
Yes, I
around the
am.
subject.
I am.
You're
I am
beating around the
talking.
bush. Yeah.
No, I'm
That's
not. No,
being
I'm not.
perceived as dishonest, you know?
Your reality is that I'm beating around the bush, but I'm not.
No, it is the reality. It can be measured
No.
and verified.
Okay, if it can be measured and verified, why don't you believe that the
Objective.
Earth is a globe?
Because nobody
Because
can
it
measure
hasn't been
globe
measured.
curvature. Nobody even sees it.
You just said it's been measured.
Because it's been measured. What?
No, I said it's
Are you
not
serious?
You just said it's been measured.
The
You just said
globe,
It says
the globe
reality.
is
you
not
Hold
guys
on.
measured because
measured.
Earth is
You
flat.
guys. You
The
guys
globe
to
has
disprove
not been
everyone's-
curvature.
measured.
To disprove curvature.
Can we speak
You
one at a time?
are an idiot.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
Ego. Don't jump over everybody as well, dude. And come on, everybody speak one at a time.
So the thing is, there's no such thing as my or your reality, right? Reality is objective and context driven, right? So, like, just to entertain the flat earthers in this room, right? Using third world view as an example is about the whole being inside or outside, right? If you're inside a building, you're inside, right? But then if you go outside, right, you could also argue that it's inside based on what context, right? They believe that
Yeah,
the
but
Earth
the world,
is, hold on,
listen, the
the Earth
world is
has,
not a
hold on, can I
building. You
finish,
can
please?
go inside or outside of it.
Yeah, but can I finish? They believe that the
Go
Earth has
Yeah,
a
and
container
that's
or whatever, right? So you could
you just
argue that the
violated
container.
the law of non-contradiction.
Hmm?
You just made a formal logical fallacy and violated the law of non-contradiction. So
Let me finish, please. So what I'm saying here is that they believe that the Earth has a dome or something like a container or whatever it is. So you could argue that to be an enclosed space. So you would be inside that enclosed space, right? So being inside or outside, it can be relative, like a box in a box, right? If you have a ball, right, a small
No,
ball,
the
ping pong
world,
ball.
listen, my friend, your analogies are fallacious. The world is not a box,
I
neither a
never said
box
that. I
inside a
never said
box.
that. I
Yeah,
never
but
said that.
There is a container. Yes.
you are
There is a container.
comparing it.
There is a
You are
container. Yes.
comparing it to that.
No.
Do you guys not believe that the
You
Earth
have
has a
to agree
container?
with me. Yeah, you have to agree with me that we are living in a container. Yes.
The Earth is contained completely. Yes.
Yep, so you're
Yeah.
inside that container.
A
So it's
container.
relative.
Exactly.
It's not subjective, it's
In
relative.
your
Okay.
explanation,
No,
in your
hold on.
that
explanation,
doesn't mean there's an outside, though.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Well, outside your
That
home,
doesn't
but
mean that there is an
inside the
outside.
container. It's
If we're
relative.
That
inside
doesn't
a
mean there's an
container,
outside.
so the outside is what? A block.
Okay, now you're being off the
Nobody knows.
rails.
There's no way to tell. You know, Zeno's
Exactly.
paradox.
Nobody knows. That's what I'm telling you. Nobody knows. That means
And that's objectively
it's
true.
not objective. How is that objective?
It is
Because
objective.
you
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
objectively true that nobody knows.
No, it's not.
Hello?
If nobody
Oh my
knows,
gosh, he's
then it's
freaking out.
subjective.
I think he's an
Santham,
autism.
please calm down. Dude.
If
So
nobody
the thing
knows,
is,
it's subjective.
you need to
it's objectively
understand.
true that nobody knows. So why are
you need-
what's the point of your argument now?
He has
Because
no
I can
arguments.
say, because from that I can derive that there is space. If nobody knows,
What?
and
No,
I
that's
know,
Derive that there's
logic.
space?
Okay,
What
hold
are
on,
you
hold on.
schizophrenic
if
for
nobody
real?
knows,
Like for
and
real? Are
I
you
knows,
schizo?
look, see what I mean?
Ego.
You guys
Ego,
just
calm
attack
down.
It sounds
and
like
try
I'm
to
talking
win.
to a shattered
Ego,
brain.
I will let you guys finish.
Calm down. Yo, come on. We can have
Sorry,
a
I'm not
conversation.
supposed to be very
We can
nice.
have a conversation and not be disruptive.
No, but what I said earlier too, like in regards of directions, like directions can be relative. They're not subjective as these other guys try to describe them as, because relative and subjective are like two different words, obviously. Like if we stand in front of each other, right, and we face each other, if I point left, that's different from your left, right? That's relative, but it's still objective. You have like a measurable reference point, right?
Therefore, Earth is a globe.
I never said that. That's what this other guy says, and he's just Nut job.
I never said that either. You guys are coming to your own conclusion.
I'm asking what the
What
whole
do you mean,
point of
you
this
guys?
time-wasting exercise is. You guys are just rambling nonsense.
What do you mean, you
Right,
guys?
right.
Like, I never
Right.
said any. I don't own
Okay,
these
We've been
guys.
trying to
I'll-
steer
I'll
this
let you speak.
conversation
I'll
into
let you
something
So it
objective,
all
and you
is-
guys are just talking about vagaries. Like, could you guys
Uh,
be any more
I'll
vague
let
about what
you
you're
speak. I'll
talking
let
about?
you speak, and then let
You're
me
being
speak. Okay.
vague by saying you guys. Who do you mean when you say you guys? Like, I've
You-
never been on the same.
You
I've never
and
been on
you
the
and
same
the other
side.
numpty at the bottom
and
of the chat.
I've never
Santum.
been on the same side as him. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
I
both of
know.
y'all
let me speak.
believe.
Okay.
Both of y'all believe
Okay, let
that
me
the both of y'all believe that reality is subjective, and this
And
is where I'm trying to figure.
I strongly fought against that. I said that reality is objective and relative, not subjective.
All right, you guys finished? Okay, you guys finished. Now let me speak. So the reason why I said reality is subjective is because we have here Nixie or Nixel that believes that the Earth is what? A globe, right?
But it's not
And
about
here,
my reality, your
no,
reality. it's
let me
about
let me
the
finish. Let me
reality.
finish. And we have Ego Slave that believes that the Earth is flat, right? So we have two different opinions.
Well,
Which
there's a
one to
problem.
Well, it's
believe?
not a belief.
Personal opinions.
No.
Positions.
Listen.
Not about
Let me
belief. No, I'm
finish.
going to
Let
stop
me
you.
finish.
No, you strawman my position.
Let's
So
go.
I'm
Hold
going
on.
to.
Ego slave.
Okay.
Ego
Okay,
slave.
okay.
Hold on. Ego slave. Let him finish. Let him finish.
All right,
So we have.
strawman. Go ahead.
It's not straw man because you're a flat
Yes,
earther
it
and
is.
this
If
guy's a
you're not going to
globo.
concede that it's a straw man, then I'm not going to let you finish because you're strawmanning.
Ego, just like your name. Ego.
All right. So let's.
If you're going to strawman me and just ramble on like that, you can stay on mute.
Dude,
I don't want to talk to
finish, and you can
dishonest
strawman.
asshole.
Well, I was talking to him, dude. So he thought that you
Okay,
said
well,
that the Earth
all
is flat. So
No, he said he believes the Earth is flat. I'm stopping him in his tracks right there from calling it a belief. I said it's not a belief. He said yes,
that's
it
fine.
is.
We could.
And now
We
you
could.
want me
We
to
could.
allow
We
him to
could.
continue
We
with the
could
straw man.
definitely. We could definitely rebut that after he finished speaking.
Okay, I agree. I concede to you, sir. I respect you a great
I
deal.
mean,
So
Ego
let's
Slave
hear
isn't
what
wrong.
he
When
has to
someone's
say.
strawmanning, you have the right to interject. There's a difference between interjections and interruptions. Interjections are valid while interruptions are not. When someone goes
Yeah,
off
so
a whole
stopping a
strawman,
fallacious argument in its tracks
That's
is a valid
fine. That's
interjection.
yeah, it's
fine.
valid. What
That's
he did
fine,
wasn't
but
invalid.
that's fine. It's
All right, do I have
you
to
said
take him
it.
off
You
the mute,
said
or
it.
can someone else do it?
Somebody already did it. All right, Santham. So continue. Okay, the Earth is not believed to be flat. The Earth. That's it's a difference
Right.
between. Right. We know that the Earth is flat. All right. Now
Okay,
continue.
so okay. Let me rephrase that, okay, just for ego's sake. Ego knows that the earth is flat. Are you happy?
Yeah, that's my position. Thanks.
Okay, now Nixel knows that the earth is round or a globe, sphere, whatever. Isn't that two different reality right there? And
No,
doesn't
that's
that
two different
mean
worldviews,
one is
but one
either
of them is
objective and
true.
the other is
Hold on,
fake?
Nixel.
So either that makes it subjective
No.
or who's right. Do you see what I
It's
mean?
incorrect.
Think.
No, it's incorrect, Santham, because understanding and believing is two different things. Now, if Nixel could give his measurement of curve of the Earth, then there will be an issue. But unfortunately, he can't. The Earth is measured, used, and traveled as, navigated as flat. So this is the problem we're having from objectivity to subjectivity.
Nice. I like that. But there are loads of scientists, right, around the world who has, personally, like, been to space or have said that they've been to space. We have satellites orbiting the Earth, or so has been said, right? They've also measured the curvature, or so they have said, right?
Okay,
And that's a
that's a
large
claim.
percentage of people. That's a large percentage of people,
That's
right?
a claim. That's a claim.
Claim.
Who
Yeah, that's
has
what I said.
measured? Who has measured that the Earth been
Well,
curved?
you can Google it online. There's been people, right?
Give me one.
So there's a lot of
We've been waiting.
earthers.
You know how long I've been in flat Earth discussion?
Yeah.
Well, we've been waiting
So
that long
said,
for Earth curve measurement. Can you please provide one?
right. There's also there's a bunch of what do I call it? Experiments done, right? There's also the sun and the moon. Why we have the day and night cycle, the curvature, whatever.
You're staggering
Claimed,
and you're
or
staggering
so did
through a
they
bunch of other
claim.
things. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
or
bunch of
so did
claims.
they claim. Yeah, that's what I said. Or so that they have claimed, right? That's what I mentioned as well. Or so they have claimed.
Okay, so there's
That
claim,
means,
but all right. So if there was claim, there should be data somewhere where somebody
yeah,
measured
it's
the Earth curve, and this is what you believe, right? That somebody measured the
yeah.
Earth curved. All right. So have you looked into that claim?
No, I have not. But I'm just saying. I'm
That's a problem.
asking their claim. Now, flat earthers have also
So
claimed.
no.
Yes,
That claim
yes.
have. Okay, go ahead. What have they claimed?
They've also claimed that there is no curvature through their own measurement, right?
Celestial
Yes, it's a
navigation is the
claim.
number one proof of
It's a
the
claim.
Earth not being curved.
That's why, since we
It's
have
not
two different
claimed.
claims,
We don't even claim it. Actually, Globe Earth is doing this himself by navigating the Earth.
I saw a YouTube video quite some time ago, and they did a measurement of the ships sailing, and they used a telescope.
You're breezing through my
Right.
response. Celestial
Anyway,
navigation. Celestial navigation.
celestial navigation. Okay.
Yes. That's done by everybody that navigates in the water. Most of them,
Mm-hmm.
at least
Mm-hmm.
since the old Stone Age, and it's been navigating as a flat surface.
Mm. Since the old age, yes. Since the old age.
Right.
It's a very
And
good
what
claim.
has changed? And nothing has changed since then. They still navigate it as a flat surface.
Yes, because our reality is that we see flat, right? Thus proving or thus
Thus, the
deriving.
Earth's proving that the Earth is flat.
No, it's not proven. Thus
How
our
is not?
reality.
If we navigate it as
Have you
flat,
seen Earth from the outside?
you
Have you seen
yourself
Earth from the
admitted that you see it flat
Yeah.
because our
Yes.
reality. So that's
Yes.
you're saying reality objectively, we see the Earth flat. So from there, where do we go? How do we make the claim that the Earth is curved? And you say, well, I haven't really looked into the curve measurements. There's none because we've been waiting for years for curve measurement. And all you're telling me, well, we see it flat, but it's still a curve.
I never said that. That's what you said.
Well, I mean, you're saying the Earth is a ball, is it not?
No, I never said that. You
So
said
you're
that.
not. So you're saying that the Earth is not a ball?
Listen to what I'm saying. The main argument is whether reality is objective or subjective, right?
Correct.
I never claimed it, right? So I'm saying the reality that we see, right? What makes a reality objective? If 100% of the people,
Measurable.
if 100% of the people says the same thing, but now we have two different sides, flat earthers and globalists. That's why it is subjective.
No, you
Reality
understand?
is
You
subjective.
understand? Subjection is different than objective
I made my
because
point.
objective is something that no matter what you believe or think, it's always going to be the same.
No matter
Which
what
means
you
you can
believe,
imagine the world is opposite of what it actually is.
right? I like that,
Because the
but
whole
Yeah,
idea
so
there's
that
two
means
different
it's
flat
objective.
earthers, two different belief or claims that they make of the earth.
Yeah, not a
So,
belief.
the whole idea that reality is
so
subjective is a very, very fucking dangerous
Please don't swear.
belief system. It leads to very dark places. It leads to brain rot. Your brain atrophies, and
so he
immorality
says.
follows.
So he says.
No, it is true. Like that's how you lead to like believing that ducks are like moons and mushrooms smell like goats.
Okay, so what do you think the Earth is?
What do I think the Earth
The
is?
Earth is Earth.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
shape.
the Earth is Earth. The
What do you
shape.
think the shape of the Earth is?
It's that
I mean, the
thing
thing
which
is,
you feel beneath your feet.
So what do you think the shape of the Earth is, Nick?
I
no
don't
matter
know.
which,
I
no
never made no
matter which
claim.
side you ask, no matter which side
It's
you
not a
ask here,
spinning globe in space.
I don't know, like a little hill that's on the other side of the world, right? I can't give you the exact shape. We can only make certain claims of how it's measured and whatnot.
Okay.
And I would make the claim.
Is it flat? Is it flat in your eyes?
I don't think it's flat. I don't think it's a perfect ball either.
That's your reality, isn't it? And
No,
where did you get that?
Listen,
Where did you get?
reality.
listen.
So you're saying it's
When
objective?
you
It is subjective.
He's a shapeless
Flat
earther.
earthers. Flat earthers. What do you
He's
think
a
about that?
he's a shapeless earther.
So what
I
do you think
mean,
of that?
if
He
I
said
take a shovel,
objectively.
if I take a shovel and go outside
So
and dig a hole in the ground, the
Same
shape
thing
of the
again.
earth changes.
Same thing again. What he believes and what he can actually objectively prove by measurement is different.
So
He
he
can believe whatever
objectively
he
just
wants,
now said.
and what happens is this is the problem that you think, well, because he believed that that's reality. That's not reality. Reality is what actually is, no matter what.
Yeah.
So facts are
Yeah.
facts, regardless
He
of
just
what
said.
you believe.
This is
Yeah, he
unbelievable.
just said no,
We're
no.
on the
He
same
didn't
side
believe.
for
He
once.
said objectively. He said objectively, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. That's what he said.
Yeah, and it's neither a perfect flat pancake either. If I go outside
Exactly.
and dig a hole into the ground, objectively, the shape of
Now,
the earth would be different.
let me ask you this, Zan. Now,
Why you disagree with it?
Zan, ask him, has he ever measured the Earth to be curvy anywhere?
I mean, I sent a few links on that in the side chat earlier.
You
Look, he sent the link.
measured the Earth
sent the
to be curved?
Why are we
I mean, people have
arguing?
done.
Why are we
Hold on,
arguing
hold on,
objectives
Zan.
here now?
People have done so.
Hold on.
People
Zan.
have already done so. Like,
Who's done this?
if you-
Who's done this?
Let me. I sent it. I'm gonna send it again.
So you're
Give me a
telling
second.
me they've measured the surface of water to curve somewhere? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, have you ever filled a cup to the brim by any chance?
Have I ever
see
felt?
what
Why
I
are you
mean?
asking me that question? I'm asking you, have you ever measured the Earth to be curved? I mean, at least over water. Let's say because there's topography on Earth. Let's go on the water. Whereas
Yeah, I've seen like objects.
where water
dip
at
down.
rest measures flat.
Hey,
Regardless,
stop drinking.
it's level.
It's 8 a.m.
I've seen things dip down to horizon. Like when I look
You've
at
seen
it.
things down. Looking at something in perspective does not gives you measurement. I asked for measurement.
I mean, you have a certain
This guy
distance that you know
definitely,
those
this guy
objects.
definitely been drinking a 6-pack.
You see what I mean? You're arguing against his objectiveness. So is
That's not
reality
objective.
objective?
He hasn't given me any. He hasn't. Zan, he hasn't given me measurement. He hasn't given me measurement.
I did.
All
the
he's
side
done
chat.
is give me perspective, and I guess I'm not sure what he's because he still
I
hasn't even given
literally
me.
just told you if you know the distance to those objects, right? And you see them dipping down. There's something you
You
can
see
work
what
with.
dipping down?
Objects in the distance, like a ship that's going far away, or like a piece of land that's on the other side.
I will screenshot
Does
this.
that
Okay? I
happen
will
all the
screenshot
time?
this.
Let me ask you a question. Does that happen all the time in that same place?
I don't think
Or
that the
does
Earth
it
is
or
perfectly...
different? Does it happen? Does when you're looking at a ship, sometimes does it look like it's dipping, sometimes it looks like it's up in the air, sometimes it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Does the Earth change size?
I mean, I do think that the Earth isn't the perfect ball, as I said. Like there are places where the
Listen,
surface would be more flat.
That wasn't my question.
When you
That wasn't my
invoke the
question.
shape
That
of
wasn't
a
my question.
spheroid,
That wasn't my question. My question was, does that happen all the time in the same place that ship or wherever that land is, especially the land? Let's say landmass, because we've seen this happen over Skunk Kick Bay and many other places. Does the land stays in the same spot, or does it go up and down due to some atmospheric condition?
I mean, atmospheric condition can definitely influence the perception of that one thing into distance.
Ah,
Well, the
amazing. So we
radius-
established that you don't have measurement. We have definitely established that atmospheric condition can definitely change the way things see. So that's why we're saying we need objective measurements, not what you see by perspective or by whatever atmospheric condition is happening in the air. We need
Wouldn't
that
that just-
measures. That's what we
Wait, what
want.
did you
That's
just
where it
say?
becomes.
What did you just say?
That's where we want
Elbow.
measurement.
But
Where it's objective.
that would just
Elbow.
destroy
Elbow, what
the
did you
whole
just say?
black swan
Your own
argument.
perspective?
I said atmospheric conditions.
No, before that, you said perspective.
Mic check.
What about
Elbow.
perspective? By
You said
perspective
you can't use your own. Yeah.
Elbow.
by
Before you said
perspective and I said by perspective and atmospheric conditions.
Yeah, so when you say perspective, what you meant was you can't measure it through your own perspective, right?
No, measurement is just, that has nothing to do with perspective. You know the difference between perspective and measurements, right?
That would just destroy your whole black swan argument.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
What black swan
getting
argument?
into
Give
black
me
swan,
what's
oil
the
rigs.
the black swan is not about the oil rigs.
Yeah, I know it's not about the oil
Elbow,
rigs
I want
themselves,
to
but
tell you something.
All right. So again, you don't have measurements, right?
He does not have his own conductive measurement, but he has third-party measurement. That's what Nix was trying to say.
yeah, like there have been plenty of other people who have done this.
Let me see
I'm
him.
trying to look for where
Okay.
was the measurement in here, and I don't see any measurements. Go ahead. I think it was Nathan. You were trying to get in.
Two times.
What is it? What have you sent? Can I see it?
I'm gonna send it again. I'm gonna reply to it.
Hello, mic check. Elbow, I want to tell you something. Can I have a moment, please?
These two links.
Do you guys hear me? Mic check.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
Nix, no, we're
I
not going to
want
use
to.
that. We're not going to use that coloring book that somebody posted.
I want to tell Elbow
Oh my fucking god.
something, please. Elbow,
Go
do you
ahead.
hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. So the guy was misleading you into his own favor when he said he denied the spherical shape of the world and he invoked the spheroid, shape. A spheroid still has a minimum radius and a maximum radius.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. And you see, we asked for the measurements. Now, the measurements that we are given by the mainstream is 3,959 miles, which makes a sphere, a spherical Earth. Indeed, it is they say it's a approximate radius because in certain places this radius is a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller in locations all over the world. Now, he's saying that actually, no, if it's a spheroid, then the spheroid doesn't have a radius, but actually spheroids, they do have radius. They have a minimum radius and a maximum. And he has to tell us what's the smallest radius of that spheroid and what is the biggest, because according to
Where's
these
it measured?
radiuses, then
Hold on, stop a second.
we will be able to measure and calculate what is the arc curvature when you are in that certain location on that spheroid.
We just need the measurement.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look for. I'm looking at it says calculation.
The second one is like, let me see again.
Like about 2 minutes ago, was it Sam or someone said that they got a measurement? What was that?
It was Nixel.
Yep, I sent the links. Two of them.
He replied to his links, and it's I'll post it again if I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, it's the Princeton coloring book.
I posted it.
Just 1 second. Sorry to
second one
break the
as
flow.
well.
Just 1 sec, Nix or whatever your name is. Albarico, are you there?
Yep.
Are you in Master B?
Let me sign it. I believe I am.
Any chance you can send this to me? Whatever he's posted.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much. As you were.
So he doesn't give us a radius.
Man, I never said that the Earth doesn't have a radius.
We're not arguing about that. We
So
just want a
now
measurement.
what I see is this battle of objective.
when we brought up the radius of the Earth of 3,959 miles, you said, well, the Earth is not a sphere, a perfect sphere. Okay, I give you that. Now it's a spheroid. So now you give me the
It's,
smallest
I didn't
radius
even
of
say
this
I
spheroid,
didn't
and
say a
the
spheroid either. It's a geoid.
yeah,
It's
you
something
did
else
say
then.
spheroid.
Why are you
No, I
giving him?
said
Hold
I said
on. Why are we
geoid.
giving them anything of this when we're asking for a measurement? Why are we like, oh well, we'll give you that it's a geoid or a spheroid or a sphere? Who cares? Just prove it with a measurement. Whatever you're proving, whichever of those you want to prove, give us the measurement for the
I don't
geoid
have
then.
big
No
perms.
worries. What's been measured?
Right, Nathan. Can you see the Earth from the outside, or the
Oh, is this a
outsideness of the
measurement?
container?
Is this a measurement?
I just posted it.
What is it?
On
Nathan, if
Messenger.
you can't answer that question, I'm sorry, but
I don't care about your question.
not fit.
What's the measurement?
Exactly. If you don't care about the question, you can't be asking what's the measurement.
Have a look.
Yeah,
I posted it 33 minutes
establish
after the
shape.
hour, Master B.
Okay, so it says activity measuring Earth's curvature. Is this what you're talking about?
If you can't find a simple link, you need help, man.
I'm asking you if this is the link. Is this what you're talking about or not?
It's
The
a
link is right
LinkedIn
there.
link.
It's
It's a
right there
yes
in the
or
chat. Like,
it's a yes or no question. Activity measuring Earth's curvature. Is that what you've sent?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
It's pseudoscience.
There was also a second link.
Hold on. First line. Here's a quick
It,
experiment. Says in the first line, experiment. No, this doesn't have a hypothesis. Pseudoscience. Immediately. Haven't even read it. First sentence. Pseudoscience. Isn't a measurement. It's claiming to
He
be
wanted me to
science.
place the other one.
I haven't quite
But the
finished.
other one is
I haven't
the
quite
other
finished. We've been spent 20 minutes trying to get this measurement. We've got it now. Now I'm going to rip it to shreds based on the first sentence. Here's a quick experiment. So it's claiming to be science. So it's in a category error within the first sentence. Measuring Earth's curve. Here's an experiment. Those are different things. So it's immediately pseudoscience. Okay? Second problem is that on the diagram, without even reading anything, it's showing acquisition of angle measurement. There's no baseline that's flat to acquire these measurements with respect to. It's a curved surface that it's describing. So this doesn't work. This fails miserably. Okay, this isn't a measurement. This is an inference.
it's a different diagram.
Correct.
This guy's just talking out his ass.
This isn't a measurement.
Next. You're not even reading it.
I am reading it. I already know what it would say. I'm 90% through
Exactly.
it.
You know what it would say.
Let them
That's
finish
different.
reading. Jeez.
Okay, if you think it's a measurement, talk us through what's been measured.
I never said that. That's his name.
Then why are you
Okay.
piping up, bro? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, this is not a
Because
measurement.
he's got to give it a chance. He's got to
Sorry.
give it a chance. You got to read it. Actually, come on.
I mean, you haven't even read it, and you're
Okay,
piping up for it,
hold
and he's
on,
telling you the
Alberico.
first
Sorry,
sentence. Go ahead.
Alberico, hold
I'm
on.
saying I'm fair.
Alberico, just one sec.
I'm fair.
Right, is it
Me is
Sam?
right. You gotta read it in full.
Hold on, Geo. Yeah. Okay, I've offered you up an immediate rebuttal. It's got an immediate category error. Do you want to try and address that first? Let's just work through what I've already said. Can you square the category error?
I don't
Xanthem.
think he knows.
I'm only
Xanthem?
talking to one guy. The guy I was talking to a minute ago. He's called Xanthem.
Oh, yeah, what would say that again?
I'll give it you a fourth time, shall I? There's a category error straight after the title. It says measuring. It seems like rather than me getting the opportunity to repeat that which you haven't heard 4 times, you're going to start talking through the middle of me repeating it for the 4th time. Pin back your ears,
Dude,
listen to what I'm saying,
God damn, man.
or I'll have one of the moderators remove you for being a prick. It's just that simple.
Dude,
you
you're being
are
a
going to
prick. What the
tolerate
hell?
me
You're
saying
like
it.
that for no reason.
It seems that this prick needs removing. Thank you, moderator. Yeah, I've said it I didn't get to quite say it 4 times. After asking to be repeated, he started yammering through the repetition. So I'll say it now. He's had to be server muted by a moderator. because I'm not going to get a rebuttal. It's a category error. If it says it's measuring something, I don't expect the first title to describe an experiment, because that would be science. If it's a measurement, it's maths, and it's immediately described it in a category error, making it pseudoscience. Fourth time's a charm. And maybe the moderators want to give you another try without you being a prick. Hopefully, having listened to what I've actually said for 4 times, we'll see how you get on.
Applause for you, sir,
First,
Nathan.
Talking to one
let's
guy.
address your tone. You're overtalking me. That's being a prick, first of all. Second of all, the way you speak, you think you're smart, but you're
It's
not.
category error. He's starting to ad
Because
hom me.
here
Can you
it
serve and
says-
mute him, please? He's starting to ad hom me rather than address the 4th rendition of the category error. It's describing an experiment. There is no independent and dependent variable or hypothesis in this. I have now read it. There is no variables. There is no hypothesis. It's a category error. It's calling itself an experiment. It isn't. Ergo, if claiming to be science when it isn't, that's automatic justification as the definition of pseudoscience, a claim of science that has not been through the scientific method. It says on the first line, here's a quick experiment. That's a hypothesis actualization. Okay? You want to tell me about how I talk? I talk to you like you are stupid, because you are stupid. If you want to address how I talk to you,
100%.
don't be stupid and present category errors as measurements. Then you won't get talked down to like you're stupid, because you won't have presented a category error as a measurement. It won't have been pointed out as pseudoscience, having described itself as an experiment, when it's supposed to be a measurement. If you don't like my tone, don't do stupid things. I hope you understand.
Yo, Nathan. Or you fed?
If this
Like I
isn't a
was saying,
response,
Nathan.
if this isn't a response to the category error and pseudoscience you presented, I don't want to hear it.
I want to
Your
hear
plans.
it because it seems like you might have a bit of an ego, Nathan. So let me tell you.
Get rid of him.
Experiment.
Get rid of him immediately.
Experiment.
Get rid of him. He's just told me I've got a bit of an ego. No, I've got a winning rebuttal for your crap that you presented that was pseudoscience in a category error. That's what I've got. You want to attack my demeanour? That's called an ad hominem fallacy and was shut down immediately, loser. Why am I calling you a loser?
Nathan.
Because you lost. Upon presenting a category
Nathan.
error in pseudoscience, pretending it's a measurement, it isn't. I also pointed out, but we didn't achieve getting to because there was then barrage of ad homs about my attitude, demeanour and the way I speak, as opposed to addressing the inability to acquire an elevation from a flat baseline as described in the picture. We definitely weren't going to get that. Apparently my ego's getting in the way of him responding to my rebuttals. No.
Nathan. Are you fed? A plant?
Excuse me? Say again?
Are you a plant?
Can't quite hear what you're saying. Can you say that again?
Are you a plant? Are you fed?
He's asking if you were a plant shill.
I can't
Are you
understand
serious,
what you're
dude?
saying. He's a
Go on
bit
with you
muffled.
people.
He's asking if you're a shill. That's not the. That's
Sorry,
not.
when I point out that there's a category error
BLANT.
between a claim to be measurement and a claim to be experiment, how on an holy hell does that make me anything other than a person pointing out a category error? That's all I've done.
It's not about that. Your conduct is a bit.
Like, is
sus.
this guy in need of removal too? He seemed like a dick while I was listening for about 40 minutes, and now he's immediately asking me if I'm a shill, having
I didn't ask whether
had
you
the
were-
fourth
I mean, you could be
rendition.
a
He's now
shill, but-
chanting through me as I point out how unreasonable that is. Yeah, you will be removed too. I've listened. I'm in no way going to tolerate your crap. I just say, get lost, dickhead. You are also a loser. You lost multiple times to Albariqua. I listened to it. You had nothing also. What you did do was white knight for the guy I just ripped a new asshole. Now you want to tell me I'm a shill? No, my friend. Had you have taken the opportunity to respond to the category error claim to be a measurement, maybe I'd have talked to you. But you chose otherwise, didn't you?
And he was the one that posted the link.
Notice that doesn't take long for me
Yours
to
to
clean
be
house here, lads. Just listen, get the cut of your jib, and then immediately rip you a new one. With absolute justification, remove you from the conversation when you overtalk people. Ask them if they're a shill. Claim their attitude is something that needs discussing rather than the rebuttal to the category error. Yeah, those things get you removed, lads. Yeah? You don't get to sit caught here with us doing those sorts of things, because it's unreasonable. And I'll demean you for your use of fallacy while my own panel interrupts me. Yeah? I'll demean you for your use of fallacy. That is to say, talk down to you. Also, condescend to you. Because you are incapable of comprehension of a rebuttal. That means I'll slow my tone, matching your intelligence as you sit there listening to it. What are you going to do? Bleat about my attitude? No, mate, you won't. You'll be shut up and removed immediately because you've had your opportunity to respond. I put it to both of you 4 times.
And they still don't get it. Yeah.
So
Well, I don't like
I'm asking
dumbos.
whether
That's
you're
why
a
probably they've been
federal. I
removed.
didn't
The
ask whether
moderation
you're a
team's
shell.
decided that they're too stupid to continue talking in this discussion. Just too thick, lads. Yeah, can't keep up with the level of discussion. So you've had to be removed. Now toddle along to some kindergarten discussion that's within your bounds of intellect. Okay, lads? Hope we're all clear.
You're giving them too much credit. Kindergarten, preschool.
This is the only way you can win, Nathan, is by bullying.
Get rid of
and
her.
moving people.
This person has suggested that I should have my children removed. This person's a scumbag. This person is a scumbag. And remove her. Yeah? Just remove her.
We now have the anti-flat earthers triggered.
What you got? If you're Brenda, you'll come in and say this is the only way you can win after she has literally attempted to have my kids removed from me. Are you having a laugh? You attack my family and have the gall to suggest after the 4th rebuttal of a category error this is the only way I can win. Oh, what did they win when they attacked how I sounded, Brenda? You pathetic little slime ball. Now get lost. You'll never get to discuss anything with me again, Brenda. I thought I made that clear on my own show.
Yes, that is a coward tactic to attack on family members. It's only a coward will do that. He's no
They didn't
man,
deal with
no
the
human
category
being.
error. They want to go right past it.
Yeah, we'll never deal with it. It'll never be dealt with. We've presented a measurement in chat. Well, let's have a look at it. This isn't a measurement, it's a category error. First sentence. How are you going to deal with that? I'm going to tell you your tone's not very good, and your attitude's not very nice, and you're a shill. Alrighty then, bye-bye. You've got nothing. Now I sit and listen to you guys tolerate these 2 tossers for the last 40 minutes. Well, they rumpus the crap out of you and projected that straight back onto you as they talked between them, back and forth, ignoring everything everyone put to them, begging the question of sphericity, non-stop. It's absolutely pathetic. The other thing they like to do is steal your victory. Had a claim, claimed measurement, it was refuted, and then what? We get nothing, and I'm told that's the only way I can win. Yeah, I won. Yeah, if you want to claim that that's the only way I can win, what, by refuting a claim that's been put to me? And suggesting why, and inviting a rebuttal, only to be told my tone's not very nice. Yeah, okay, lads. Lads. All of you lads here today. Lads and lads. Meanwhile, now there's a nice stony silence because we haven't got a string of ad homs coming my way after a stone-cold refutation of their claims. I'll make my claim. Earth is measured flat. All claimed globe believers have a necessity for a flat Earth to measure to get to their globe belief. Angle measurements with respect to a plane are how all the maps and models have been made. Earth must be flat for you to believe in a globe. So on the contrary, as per your discussion earlier, where you feel that it's what? Somehow subjective because 2 people have a different opinion? No. One person's got measurements of a flat plane, and the other person has got a belief based on those measurements that will trigger a fundy pretty damn quickly. Right? Yeah? One person's got a belief.
Don't work, Federal. I've worked with your kind before.
See? Immediately into how I am and whether or not he's worked with others that are like me. We've got a flat Earth measurement being discussed and I'm being interrupted. Shocking. I'm taking apart the claim I listened to. I had 40 minutes of it. Apparently, it's subjective because there's people who say Earth's flat and there's people who say it's a sphere. Well, meanwhile, Earth's measured flat and the sphere belief is based on that measurement. So one side of this false dichotomy you feel is necessary, you bunch of Burks, to argue about, is a measurement-based claim. Making it a fact, because you've got a measurement to back it. Shockingly, that exact same measurement is built into a sphere belief. So it's not a false dichotomy, Earth's just measured flat. Feel free to use that measurement to believe in a sphere if you want to. Believe whatever you like.
Must be a little bit strange once they realise that the globe measurements are all derived from flat Earth measurements. I mean, basically a globe destroyer there straight away, isn't it? I mean, the whole world must be falling apart in front of them.
It's called pain relief.
I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing numpties who are so high and mighty and think they're intellectually superior to the people around them, telling them that scientists have gone to space to take measurements. I mean, I don't know about those measurements. I'm sure they're out there. Go Google them. That was what he said. You crazy nutter. You think that men have been to a second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum to take photos from the sky vacuum of the gas below them, not expanding into the vacuum? No. And you think they are scientists? What, people who observe natural phenomena and then formulate hypothesis to actualise it with experimentation, the same category error in your claim measurement? No, dum-dum. You don't know what science is, dum-dum. I think there's some more Globers still on the panel listening to me tear a strip off you as a flat earther, telling you how Earth is measured for your fundamentalist religious sphere belief. Pointing out how stupid it is to believe in gods flying around in a sky vacuum looking back at gas-defying natural law in their photos you're not taking. How much faith you must have in these men in the sky vacuum. Pathetic. Trusting zealot globe believers with your belief. Let's make that clear. It's your belief. You'll need my measurements that prove Earth is flat to get to that belief. I hope that's clear.
Nathan, the funny thing is, QE posted a picture. It's a carpenter measuring like a 2x6, and it says, according to global logic, this man is doing science. And this guy comes in with that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was quite proud to say that scientists have been to the sky vacuum to take measurements. What a clown. What clowns these zealot globe believers are. Demonstrably stupid with their declarations. How it must feel belittling to be told with demonstrable proof of their stupidity just how stupid they are. I would suggest that you start discussing my tone that is righteous when I belittle your stupidity.
This is cringy. I'll see y'all later.
One down.
Yeah, what they forget is we've spent 10 years discussing the argument, so we get to the point where we understand how Earth is actually dealt with, to the point where we can say Earth is measured flat. And surprisingly,
you should become an
having dealt with...
astronaut and prove everybody wrong.
Say again, sorry, NA?
Become an astronaut and prove everybody wrong then.
I become an astronaut and travel to a second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum where I can view gas not filling space, violating
Or
that
not.
natural law. Is that where I should go,
Or
NA?
not.
Seems
Or
like you
not
started talking
improve.
before I'd finished my sentence there, NA. Are you
Well,
going to be
you're gonna
just as
ramble on for
unreasonable?
like 20
It seems
fucking
me
minutes
pointing out that you
tonight.
started talking before me finishing my sentence has required a moderator to stop you doing it again, NA. It would seem that you don't like tolerating the end of a sentence, NA. Yeah, I'll just say that again. Your claim put to me, rumpus in rebuttal, was that I should become an astronaut and travel to, I'll give my rebuttal again, hopefully unimpeded, travel to a violation of natural law to view gas not filling space, directly violating the second law of thermodynamics. That is to say, you would need to refute that statement.
Are you
And
done
all your
talking?
arguments. Yeah, fuck y'all, man.
Yeah. I would share my pain by swearing at me too. I'm sorry, maybe you can assess my tone when you can hear my glee. Can you hear my glee as your response is to tell me to fuck off? No, mate, the sky is not a vacuum. I'll now conclude in victory, given that your response is to tell me to fuck off. Now, the sky's not a vacuum to travel to as an astronaut. People who claim you're gods, the ones you have faith in, the ones you believe have taken pictures from this second law of thermodynamics violation, they're liars. They can't take pictures of gas not filling space because gas fills space. They're not going to be in the space the gas could be filling but isn't to take pictures of it. That's a violation of natural law. Not that you're experiencing this violation of natural law, only your gods in a sky vacuum akin to Narnia, somewhere that doesn't exist for me to go to as an astronaut. Consider your crap rebutted, NA. Jolly good. Meanwhile, we're still measuring Earth flat, and you will still require those measurements to believe in a sphere to have a sky vacuum around.
Like, isn't that the whole point of fucking calculus?
Can you not swear at me? Do you want to just take a
I didn't swear
little bit
at
of a
you.
chill pill? Stop swearing at me, get a little bit of a control on your rage. You've got no justification to be swearing at me, okay?
It's not at you, sir. I would expect a British man to know that at least.
Sky vacuum.
Fucking Christ.
Dumbo, sky vacuum.
Yeah, you can say that all you want.
Okay, I'll say it again, hopefully unimpeded. The sky is not a vacuum, it's a violation of natural law. This stupid man that said I could go to a violation of natural law and become a lying astronaut would require him to start talking at the end of my victory dance? No, NA. Now, I can just say it because it's a law of nature. It's not just Nathan Oakley who you're going to presumably attack personally based on me just saying it. No, it's a law of nature. Gas-filled space is called entropic dispersion. I understand that me detailing that, which you think is just me saying it, would require you, like you are now, much to my delight, to be very triggered and very, very, very painfully interrupting for the fourth time. Yeah? You've had to be server muted, NA, because I was taking my little victory dance and you thought that in your pain and frustration, you should chant through the fact that it's entropic dispersion, gas filling space. Not just me saying it. That was your last rebuttal. You can just say, I did. I'm now repeating it. Shockingly, with you rumpusing it. Because it's the end of your bleeding argument, Dumbo. Can't become an astronaut and go to Narnia. I mean space. Because gas would be filling the space I'm in to take pictures of a, what, cloudy ball below me, violating natural law. No, mate. Fourth time's a charm. Yeah, I'm just saying that again, in case you use the same rebuttal. I am just saying it. Saying it and winning. Having a good chuckle at how stupid your fundy sphere belief is.
So do you just not present evidence here? Is that like something we just...
Natural law, second law of thermodynamics, that's my evidence. Gas fills space, it's called entropic dispersion. Saying I haven't presented the fact that gas fills space, entropic dispersion being my standard of evidence that I have presented. Was that hand waved? Was that a little hand wave dismissal? Like I haven't presented anything, NA. Ruffles his hair. Bless his little cotton socks. I have, son. I presented you, but you're slow and didn't hear it. Entropic dispersion. It seems my repetition of that which you thought didn't come your way needs you to talk through it. Maybe if you talk through it, it won't be repeated where you were too stupid to hear it the first time. Entropic dispersion, son. Debunking a space the gas... Third interruption's a charm, right, NA? It won't be painfully devastating if you just talk through it. Right? No, mate. Entropic dispersion, fourth time's a charm. Fourth time's a charm. NA can't cope. Oh, he's had to be server moderated. 4 times is enough for the server to get involved with his fundamentalist religious sphere belief that cannot be tolerated when he's hand-waved it 3 times. It's just what I'm saying. No, it isn't. You haven't presented any evidence. Yeah, I have. I'm doing it again now as you chant through it. Entropic dispersion, NA. Hello?
So tell me what you think entropic dispersion is.
Gas filling space, like I've already detailed multiple times to you. Are you capable of hearing?
Oh, no, you're applying it to
I'm asking
gas,
you a
but I don't
question
think
based
it's
on the fact that
specific to
you've
gas,
asked me the
okay?
same thing and asked me to expand on something. No pun intended. Gas expansion. No
Entropic
pun
dispersion
intended.
just
I'm still
means-
talking. You've asked me to repeat
I'm
it.
not talking.
I'm now. Oh, bless. Is this painful, little bull believer? Oh, bless. You've had to be server moderated again. Yeah, being so triggered that a flat earther's taking a giant steaming dump on your sky vacuum I was expected to go to as an astronaut. No, mate. No, you've had that crapped all over. Just chanting through me won't wash.
Are you done? Can I speak now?
Is that a question? Oh, I'll answer your question. No, I'll take another little victory dance as you've invited it by asking me if I'm done. Definitely not. Asking if I'm done after I've clearly concluded my statement 4 times will lead me to say, if you're too stupid to not recognise when I'm done, I'll reiterate my point again. No, I'm not, mate. Thanks for asking. Clearly not done because you still think there's a response? No, there isn't. Gas fills space. You can't go to that space and watch it not fill it. Because that's what gas does. What's the standard of evidence, I wonder I could present?
I guess gravity's
Second
not
law
fucking real
of
either.
thermodynamics. Definitely going to get rumpused. Definitely going to get chanted through. Definitely going to be the last time he gets to talk to me. Goodbye. Your time is done. You had nothing.
Greetings, everybody.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to be a bit more lethargic in terms of how the show runs today because it is absolutely boiling hot here in the UK today. So as a result, I can't have my projector down. Second screen is out of the question. It's just too hot. So for that reason, I'm just going to be running on one screen and that will mean things take longer. Or I won't do any transitions or sharing. One or the other. It's already been a fairly ferocious day in the pre-show over on Flat Earth Debate Politics Discord server. Lots of fundamentalist religious zealots having their asses handed to them by flat earthers, only to be told that their tone needs to be addressed. It's been good fun, as it always is. But I have to give the disclaimer to those of you who are unfamiliar of us being here on a Friday. We only have one purpose, and that is to say to convert the entire flat earth community into an understanding that we no longer need to defend how the globe doesn't work on the back foot. Declaring that the Earth is obviously, observably, measurably, navigatably flat is a demonstrable fact that we can move forward on the front foot with measurements of Earth being flat. Furthermore, if you end up in the defensive position to have to argue against somebody who believes they're on a sphere, point out how their sphere belief comes from a flat Earth measurement in the first instance, because it does. That's what we're here to do. Point out to flat earthers you don't need to defend the globe. Let them postulate it in the positive first and then defend it if you have to. If you're piping up, tell them Earth's measured flat, because it is. That's why we're here. Feel free to challenge us in any way you see fit if you're on the other side, or if you have any belief. Concaver, fairy tale earther, Ethereum, whatever you may be. Shout out to Flat
Nathan,
Earth
is
Revolter.
measurement science?
No, it's not. It's a category error. Shout out to Flat Earth Revolter. She says, shout out to the fundies. Thanks for the entertainment. Indeedy do. I'm not going to put your super chat up. I've only got one screen. Sorry. If you super chat, it won't appear on screen. I will chat. I will read it, though. Yeah, I spent a good solid 40 minutes in the politics server just listening to how things went. And it's pretty good, got to be honest. Globe defenders do what they normally do, come with their noses in the air like they're talking down to every single stupid flat earther out there. And then they talk about how reality is a subjective subject. You're like, oh my God. What have we come into? Told that our belief is that we've got a pizza pie or something. Same old, same old. Please share the show. We're in politics server in case you've just got here. 50 people odd watching. No AJ today.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we've got Albariqua.
Sure do. What's going on, Nate?
He was slaying it in the pre-show.
I mean, it's no competition when they just bring rhetoric and subjective things to debate.
Who was that?
One
One more time.
You
When
want
they
those 2
bring
pounds unmuted yet?
when they bring rhetoric and their subjective mind practically because they don't have no grasp on reality.
No, they've got firm belief, but they in their mind that's a really strong belief that can be stacked up in false dichotomy against flat earthers and their beliefs that they tell them that they've got. Well, you say you're on a pizza pie. No, I don't. You jumped in. That was where you jumped in, Albariqua. Like, I mean, you had to shut the other.
Wait a second. I didn't hear any of that. When was that?
I was hanging around. I didn't want you interrupting it. I've got to be honest now. I'll just tell it like it is. I wanted to sit back and listen to how things went, subtly, without you going, you don't need a flat earth for that, or whatever you'd have done. No doubt.
I would not have interrupted it.
I told you off yesterday, Neil, literally within the last 24 hours. And you went away, did you not? Do you not recall?
But not in the pot. No. I went away because the connection was horrible. I told you I'm driving and I don't have the same connection. That's number one. Number two, when we're in the politics, I hardly say anything. So don't misrepresent me like that because you piss me right off.
Whatever. There was a guy in there, Ego something or other, who I was like, yeah, cheering for him, because the guy starts representing it as a false dichotomy with a flat earth belief. And the guy's like, sod this. And he just chimed in and was like, no, I'm going to stop the guy. And Albariqua was like, well, you need to let him get to the end of his claim. And I thought, well, fair enough. That is the rules in this server. So eventually he yielded. But I thought, no. And then literally within a couple of minutes, someone else was piping up going, there's a difference between an interruption and an interjection. An interjection's valid. You're like, yeah, what, like straw man in his position, telling him he's got a flat earth belief when he knows damn well it's measured flat? Yeah, that then rebuilt itself into a new false dichotomy. Well, the flat earther now knows it's flat. Once that got pointed out, the flat earther's happy, and Ego, whatever his name was. Sorry, guys, I'm not familiar with you, so if you're still here, Ego, I'm not intentionally trying to talk about you in the third person. It's
all good.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was right behind you, mate. It's like, bugger this. Why is he telling me I've got a belief? I haven't.
Was
There's a
wondering why
constant
so
battle.
early they're so feisty.
There's a kind of a
Sorry,
constant.
thanks, Nathan. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd have been a lot more stroppy. You eventually took the direction from Albariqua, which would not have been stroppy about. I'd be like, no, I'm right. How dare he strawman me with a claim of belief? But on the other hand, you've got
I was
to
pissed,
yield.
and I was rightfully pissed.
You were, and I was right behind you, gritting my teeth thinking, especially when it then got repositioned to, well, okay, fine, the flat earther knows it's flat, and the glober knows it's flat. No, he doesn't. But I was listening, so I didn't interject. Had I have interjected, I'd be like, no. The belief the glober has is based on the measurements that lets the flat earther interrupt righteously to tell you you're strawmanning him. He knows it's measured flat, and he knows the globe's based on those measurements, making the globe the belief and the measurement the righteous indignation for this guy's interruption. You can become a member, like Jardo. Thank you for the super chat, Jardo. Politics Discord sucks. Been locked out for 2 months. No email, phone, verification works. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jardo. It's not a bad server. I mean, your disdain is because you're having issues with it, but it is a great server. I've had so much fun this morning. When they share their pain.
But they've been telling us for years that it was flat. We just caught on late, if you think about it, and you go back to the old shows. They were always telling us it was flat.
Yeah, they had to. It's the only way it can be measured. Shout out to Flat Earth Travolta, who gifted 5 memberships out. Uncle Ben, Random Hero, Matrix Media, Hit Ted, 1949, Len Lennox, and TB all got gifted a membership. So you can check out that ferocious discussion, followed by me shutting it all down by putting them in the place with proof of Flat Earth. as a member. That'll come out after this is all done and dusted, so check it out. Also, shout out Misfit FB850. The last guy's globe evidence was NA. That was the guy who was talking just before the live show started. He just started swearing at me. It was great. Like I say, I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you for the super chat. I am freaking exhausted, Neil.
Well, we're putting a lot of work in.
I'm
What
working.
temperature have you got, Nathan, over there?
Temperature? I have no idea. Hey Siri, what temperature is it here in Leamington Spa? 27 degrees. Feels like a lot hotter than that to me. I've got to be honest, I thought it would be higher than that. It's really hot. The sweat's pouring off me. Anyway, that's a bit gross. No one needs to know that. What? How is it there?
27.
Say again?
27, Nathan. Fair income. That's when I take me jumper off.
Okay, I'm sure it's hotter than that in New Zealand. So what?
Shots fired.
Doesn't even faze me anymore.
Damn. Shout out to
Zealand,
Jado.
Australia, same pig.
Jado says Neil has the timing of a panda. Thank you for the super chat.
Jado can get away with that because he buys me a membership. Thank you, Jado. Let him in politics. What's going on?
He's a troublemaker. Hey, Chocolate. And hey, click OK if you're there. Probably not.
Back to that, though, it's not difficult to understand. I mean, probably a young child could understand that gas will fill space. I mean, what's so difficult to understand about that?
No, see, one deck, my children are not getting it because the indoctrination. I went through this with them yesterday. They would rather deny natural law because of what they were indoctrinated with.
I really don't like either of your tone.
Well, that's the only thing you can say, really. Because you will need a container for pressurized gas to be present to register the pressure. You're going to need that container. Yeah,
it's a bit
and
weird.
The pressure will fill that container, and then you're also going to need a container for a vacuum state. Yeah, you need a container for a vacuum. You need a container for pressure. What you won't have is pressure inside the container and a vacuum adjacent to each other. That won't happen.
On the one day I've not got the text chat up, Jardo's just gifted 10 memberships. So thank you first and foremost to Jardo for gifting all those memberships. TB, Christian, and who else got one? Click OK. Obviously Click OK is watching a lot. You got a membership, Click OK? He's on the panel at the moment. Anton, Wade, 3 Clip, Horn Dole 1. Is that right? Wow. Okay. Endless, OBE lines, unindoctrinated, or however you say that, I'm sorry. Pablo and QREC have all got free memberships. Cool. Also, thank you to Mario Knows, who says, lest we forget observable phenomena. Shoo! Thank you for the super chat. I really wish I had these on screen. I'm almost tempted to fire up the projector, but I would just pass out. That was the other thing. I was almost passing out in the heat.
Was saying.
Say again, sorry, Neil.
To get back to what one deck was saying about the gas pressure, my son turned around and said to me, because you don't understand quantum physics. Oh, what does that have to do with it?
Not quantum.
Go on, one deck.
Well, I don't understand quantum physics. I don't understand it, but I do understand that you will need a container for the gas pressure, and you will need a container for a vacuum, but you won't have a vacuum state and a pressurized state in the same container.
We do know that the atmosphere bleeds out into space, though. Like, we know that.
What?
Yes,
Do
it
we?
does. Yes. It's just a bit different.
Yes,
Like,
that's
we
right.
have a magnetosphere. Protects the fucking atmosphere from
Please,
being
number
stripped
one,
away.
please
These
don't
things all
swear. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm an old grunt. I'm an infantryman.
that's fine.
I'm used
That's
to cussing
fine.
when I talk.
That's fine. You're saying we know gas. Did you say leaks into space? Yeah, that's called entropic dispersion.
It diffuses.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So if we know that,
Yeah.
and so do you think that gas has weight to it?
But did I say that?
No, I'm asking you.
But did I say it?
No, am I not allowed to ask you questions?
I say gas fills space. You've just agreed with me. Yeah, we'd all be dead if the sky was a vacuum.
That's not
not
the question
overcoming
I
it.
asked, sir.
Asking me if gas has
Let me
weight.
interject.
You could just chant
and
through me
reiterate.
responding. You've pushed me for an extra response, and now you're chanting through me. Okay, you've pushed me, so I'm now going to respond and expand. Like gas into spaces. We'd all be dead if the sky was a vacuum. Because in the heliocentric, nonsensical world of sphere Earths derived from flat Earth measurements, you'd have the first gas particle departing from the ground in an upward vector, and it would never return because it'd have nothing to collide with. And so would the second gas particle come out of the ground, go into the 10 to the minus 17 Torr vacuum that you think the sky is, and it would never return because that's what gas does. It travels at a high velocity in whatever vector it's travelling in until it collides with something. So, given that the heliocentric, nonsensical world of sky vacuums has no containment to form gas pressure, it's not a case of we'd lose some of the already in existing pressure that doesn't have containment, we lose some of that to space. No, we'd never have developed gas pressure because there's nothing for it to press on in your world of a sphere in a sky vacuum. That debunks the sky vacuum. There is no sky vacuum to take pictures of gas, not filling it. Nor can you automatically assume that, well, the sphere does have gas at pressure, and just some of it leaks into the 10 to the minus 17 Torr vacuum. No, it would all disperse. That's what gas does. I assume from the fact that the server mods have put him on mute that he couldn't listen to that.
No, I think he deafened himself when he started talking.
He deafened himself.
Yeah.
You're telling me he literally stuck his fingers in the ears rather than listening to me pointing out that we'd never develop gas pressure because all of the gas would come out of the ground and vacate in whatever vector, never colliding with everything, never developing gas pressure. He just stuck his fingers in his ears, did he?
That was a lot of words that said nothing.
Is that your rebuttal? That was a lot of words.
Okay.
Would you like me to simplify it for you? Is it too complicated? Too many words?
No
problem. No problem. NA, I heard you. Yeah, when you give a rebuttal like that's a lot of words as opposed to no, entropic dispersion doesn't debunk a sky vacuum, I'll take at face value what you said to me. That's a lot of words. I'll simplify it. Gas fills space. It's a law of nature.
So do you think that gas or gases have weight?
Did I say that? Or did I actually address
I'm
entropic
asking you.
dispersion?
I'm
It
not
seems
saying
like
that you
he's going
said
to
it.
use the
I'm
same thing, and when I
asking you.
respond, he's going to chant through the obvious rebuttal that he's already had twice. So when I start replying to his question that's been repeated, that I've already addressed, I didn't make a claim about it. What I did make a claim about is being ignored with this non sequitur question. Now, given that I haven't made a claim about it, you're asking me to, in essence, trying to flip the burden. This isn't my claim. I don't need to justify anything about how gas behaves. And now he's chanting through me. Yeah, let's try that again without the fundamentalist religious zealot who's ignored my rebuttal 3 times and now wants a new question, non sequitur, based on a claim I'm not making. By the way, for the audience's benefit, Nathan's not making a claim. He says gas fills space. No, that's an entropic law. Meanwhile, the positive claim is that the sky is a vacuum. I do not make this claim. I debunk it with gas dispersion. I don't have to answer any questions beyond that. I don't care how you describe gas, and if I haven't described it in a particular way that you need to describe it as, I'm not going to be asked about it because I'm not making this claim. I'm debunking your sky vacuum with dispersion of gas, a law of nature. That's all I want to hear about in rebuttal. Not a new straw man that I haven't described about how much mass it's got or whether it's got weight. I haven't claimed it. It's not part of my claim because I am not claiming this as my claim. It's a refutation of a sky vacuum. Hope that's clear.
I think this is a one-sided argument that
It
is
is
not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, because I win.
I'm not done talking. Can I finish talking, please?
If it's a one-sided argument that you think is going to go nowhere, you could, but you've already said something, which is it's a one-sided argument. No, it isn't. You've misrepresented the situation. I'm now going to immediately interject and say it's not a one-sided argument. He claimed I could become an astronaut and go to space. I can't because the gas that we're looking back on as an astronaut would fill that space. You had an argument that I could become an astronaut. I said you can't because gas fills space. That's not a one-sided argument. That was your rebuttal. I've just taken a big steaming dump on the crap that you replied with. That doesn't mean I'm going to be talked through because you feel it's unreasonable after telling me it's a one-sided argument. No, it's a two-sided argument. You lost. You lost when I pointed out how gas behaves. You asked me if gas had weight, which isn't a rebuttal. It's non sequitur. I didn't claim it. It's the fourth time I've pointed it out. I respond to every word you say. You strawman and non sequitur away from my actually rebutting your sky vacuum. That's all that's happening here. So it's a two-sided argument. You lost. No sky vacuum to look back at Earth to have pictures of it. Because you're looking back at gas not filling space. That's me winning this two-sided argument. Is last rebuttal that no, it's just one-sided. No, I heard I was supposed to become an astronaut from some dickhead who didn't understand dispersion and entropic laws of nature. Some moron, some complete Burke had a side to his crap he claimed. And then there was the second side, my side, the winning side. The side that made him look like a Burke. I mean, by hand-wave dismissal, I was told it was only one-sided. It's not like I'm refuting the sky vacuum that I could be flying into as an astronaut, as he put to me. No, he didn't get a chance, did he? Dumbo, you lost.
Well, we can ask a housekeeping question. Is there any evidence you can have gas pressure without containment?
No. It's an antecedent consequent relationship. Without a container to press on, you can't make pressure. That's what pressure is.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm confused. It does sound like a one-sided argument because his first statement out the gate was a concession that gas leaks into the vacuum.
Yeah, prior to that, it told me to become an astronaut and go to space. It was just in the pre-show.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
So he agrees, Chocolate. Gas fills space.
If they start by throwing your rebuttal at you, like somehow repeating your rebuttal makes it a refutation of the position. It's like them saying, yeah, it's okay, so we measure Earth flat, and then we derive the geometric... Oh, whoa, stop. We measure Earth flat. Yeah, we measure Earth flat, and then we derive with calculations the geometric sphere edge that you idiots don't believe is there when we see it in the maths and then claim it's the horizon. Sorry, stop. We measure Earth flat, right? Surface level. Yeah. They keep throwing it back at you like somehow it's a rebuttal. Okay, so gas... You all understand that gas does fill space? Like, we do lose a certain amount of gas to space. Yeah, we understand gas fills space. Yeah, that's why we'd all be dead if we lived in the sphere, stupidity. But he's offering it back like it's somehow a way of assuming we do have a little bit of gas pressure pressing on nothing. And just some of it goes into the sky vacuum. But the rest, we're all cool breathing without containment. No, that's not a rebuttal.
I mean, no disrespect to the housekeeping questions, but I think nowadays these are statements now. It's not how can you have gas pressure without containment. We should be stating you cannot have gas pressure without containment. There's no question to be asked.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree.
I agree. These are statements of fact. You can't deny an antecedent consequent relationship. Oh, of course you can have gas pressure without a container. What does it press on? It's just stupid. It's a nonsensical statement. And their whole religion's based on it. Yeah, of course we can have gas not filling the space. We can go into the space. The rocket can go into the space. But the gas travelling at high velocities in all directions, filling volumes in line with entropy, it just doesn't fill the volume. Yeah, of course, we can have a black bit that's 10 to the minus 17 torr next to clouds. No worries. No, you can't. It's a complete violation of dispersion law. Gas behaviour.
You don't understand quantum physics.
Got nothing to do with quantum physics.
Nathan, since he left, I figured I would look up what weight is so that we could define it, and it actually ends up being somewhat of a begging the question fallacy. From Oxford Languages, a body's relative mass, or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force, the heaviness of a person or thing. So I don't even know if weight is clearly defined or if it even exists.
Yeah, by reading it, you've spotted what they're trying to do when they try to invoke weight. If they can invoke if they can invoke weight, they can suggest that gas goes down. Well, because it's got weight, by definition, it's going down. No, gas comes out of the ground and moves away from it. That's what it all does. It's all created at ground level and moves its way up. Oh, well, it gets thinner and still needs to be at pressure. It needs to be pressing on something. There's less up high because there's no factories in the sky producing gas. It's all done on the ground. So obviously you've got a higher concentration there. Doesn't alter the antecedent of containment that must be there to press on to make a pressure, to then make a pressure gradient. But they appeal to, well, gas has got weight. So in their mind, it goes up to the Kármán line, eats a few cakes, defies gas law by changing direction, violating the third law of thermodynamics. It's just all garbage. We were writing about that yesterday in the book. So at some point, Adam's like, you need to put a little anecdote in. So the publisher of the book said, you need some anecdotes. It's like things that have happened on the show or, stories that we come up with. And this was one of them. So Adam's like, well, you just need to rattle off your version of the rebellious gas particles. That's to say they're sort of structured as being feminists. I don't know why that happened, by the way. Why they became feminists, burning their bras. It's just the defiance aspect, I think, like the suffragettes. So they're defying the law of nature that is entropic law, the second law. So we say they're burning their bras in defiance of the second law of thermodynamics. They get to the Kármán line and go, no, I will not be governed by this law of nature. No, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to eat some cakes. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to go down, go boom, boom, go splash, splash. No laws governing me. I'm an independent gas particle. I'm going to earn my own living. I'm going to go up the career ladder and be a strong and independent gas particle. Or eat cakes and go down, go boom, boom. Either way, I'm in charge of my destiny. The second law of thermodynamics does not govern what I do as a gas particle. You hear me? I am sentient. I am a strong, empowered particle.
Funny.
That rhetoric got so expanded upon. We had Darth Particle and all sorts coming into that story at some stage. It was getting really crazy how much it got expanded out.
Are you keeping the book to the questions of the housekeeping, Nathan? Or you think maybe it's a good idea to change it to a factual statement?
It's funny you should ask. Have you, by any chance, been involved in some of the editing process by any chance, One Deck? Yeah, you have. I know you have. Yeah, basically, the book was being written last year, and at the time, housekeeping was the most prevalent thing, and the book was even originally, at one stage, titled that, Housekeeping. It's not now. But after 1st Jan 2024, it's like our attitude's taken a bit of a fundamental change. So the way the book was structured suddenly kind of didn't... It wasn't current. It went out of date before it was published. So we've had to make some fundamental changes. So, I don't know, about a month or two ago, I was like, yeah, it'll come out in a few weeks. It's like, well, because it's written. But that will never see the light of day now, because it's been adjusted. It's been changed into much more in line with a 2024 narrative. We have kept the structure to explain housekeeping So a lot of the chapters have still got the titles they originally have, which are housekeeping names, and we do go through them. But now it's got more of a spin on how Earth is measured flat, and even the chapter order. So in terms of measuring Earth flat, the order was changed fundamentally. So now we've got elevation angle measurement being the first discussed housekeeping question, and then the idea, although this change hasn't been done yet, is that the end chapter, all of which is pretty much written, it's just being rewritten, will be the Black Swan. So there's like a lot of work went into that chapter just yesterday by Adam and QE, and as much as it pains me to watch this because they're stripping my book back and rebuilding it, and I'm like I'm going up the wall, which is why I'm so exhausted. So I'm climbing the walls with my nails and trying to keep my temper as in check as I can, without losing all of my friends around me while I'm screaming at them. But it's a stressful thing to do. On the other hand, right, so there's the negative bits out of the way. This will be an exceptional book. Now, not just saying that because it's mine, but it's going to become more of a reference. That is to say, where it was a bit more of a story about housekeeping, it will become a journey through cited references to back the fact Earth's measured flat in more detail than it previously had. So as much as maybe there might be 80 pages of actual story, the rest of the book, maybe if it's 150 pages, say for the sake of argument, is all going to be glossary, i.e. where the expanded references are and the citations from them interjected into the text. So as you're going through, for example, housekeeping questions about the Black Swan, or housekeeping questions about the R value, or housekeeping questions about elevation angles, it's explaining with an explicit lean on how we would argue in 2024. So I'm pleased because it's going to be a better product, actually quite a lot better product, because of how high the reference standard's gone up since QE's specifically got involved. So where we'd be like, or I would be like, referencing a wiki citation, he's like, well, I've got this from this college, or I've got this from this university. That's better. And it is. It just raises the bar, along with, obviously, lots of paraphrasing and various changes and alterations to the actual text and story that's trying to be told by me, by people who are around me, who've all helped to change the editorial. So where previously it was mine and I hadn't necessarily offered up that much credit to everyone around me, it's been more generic. That will also change. I haven't told any of the people who are currently helping me rewrite it, but that needs to alter. I need to specifically mention certain people. Definitely not Neil.
That's funny.
It did it.
Hey, listen, Nate.
Did I miss?
Go ahead.
Did I miss the punchline? I think I did.
Go ahead. Then I got to shout out Jardo. Is that chocolate? Go ahead, chocolate.
No, I was just going to say, Nathan, if you wanted to, if you wanted to use the Earth is the globe is flat poem in the book, you're quite welcome to use that.
I mean, you should be publishing this stuff. You should be writing a book of poems, getting it published.
Yeah, this is housekeeping.
Either way, I mean, I'd be flattered if I can. I'll certainly suggest it next time we're editing it, and see how that goes down. I mean, I'm flattered, absolutely flattered. But that's your work. You need. We'll get into it another time. We're in a foreign server, in a live stream. This isn't the time one deck, but I am flattered that you'd even offer. Thank you. Shout out to Jardo. Your book. Please don't use the word they without defining that term. One whole paragraph. Use that term. If you can't define they, then you'll have to delete that paragraph. Okay? I'll bear that in mind, Jardo. Thank you for the super chat. It might be that you've watched one of the after shows where I've intentionally leaked a bit of the editing process, but contextually, there's a good chance, Jardo, that we have identified who they are for each chapter. So don't worry too much. But it's going to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb. Don't you worry.
Just to, I'm only going to read. This isn't a poem, by the way, or anything. I just wrote something down because QE asked me to write it down, and it was just something that it's something I've always known about how the celestial sphere is. The celestial sphere. It's like a perspective view of the skies. Appears like a dome. I've always known that since we've spoke about it on the show. But something clicked with me the other day when 10th was in describing the rectangle and the pie slice and how they've like used that and brought it down. And something just thought, I just thought, cheeky buggers doing this. How have they got away with this? Something else just clicked in my head. And I said something on the show the other night, and QE said, write that down. So I wrote it down, what I was trying to get across. So it's not a poem, but it was basically, it blows my mind how they hijack this perspective of the celestial dome, heavens, to then bring this perspective of a curved dome down to a flat earth, to then create a globe model that doesn't account for perspective and replaces perspective with curvature when perspective was used in the first instance to create the non-perspective earth curve model.
Yeah, good summary. Exceptional.
I have no clue what you just said, dude.
You got no clue what you just said?
He said the sky was reverse engineered from the flat Earth.
I can easily break that down. The summary was good, I know, because I can give the expansion. What Wandek's basically summarizing is measurement of an angle to a star that's directly above your head would be 90. Measurement of a star sitting on the horizon would be 0, and measuring a star behind you on the opposite horizon would be 180. Well, that view is a protractor around you. What you're actually viewing is a flat sky and a flat ground, and you're creating a dome around you with the angles that you see the stars through that protractor with. That creates a hemispherical view of the north called the celestial hemispherical view. Now you can do the same with the south and create the celestial sphere. But for now, we'll focus on the north only. You've got a hemispherical view, like I described. Star on each horizon, star above you, 0 through 180. 90 being directly above you, 0 at each horizon. 0 and 180. Yeah? That can then be transposed from the projected points through the protractor back onto the ground, but with a projected star-based map between you on a flat plane and the stars you just measured. That's a globe projection. So now you've got you standing in the middle of what was formerly a protractor just measuring the angles, called the globe. So you're in hell, the globe's wrapped around you, and the celestial sphere is wrapped around that. And then the points that you see the star from hell through the globe at correspond with a point on the globe. So your flat Earth measurement turns into a perspective view that turns into a celestial sphere that then turns into a globe that you can then stand inside to measure these points. Now, the radial value that you've converted to give you that sphere can be used in an Earth curve mathematics to claim that the derivation of a flat Earth measurement of surface level when raising in altitude and calculating the difference from eye level parallel with it will give you an Earth curve below surface level, but only if you ignore perspective and do it in an orthographic manner. So to conclude, you've taken a perspective view of the world to give you the points through the protractor to turn into a globe, to be standing in to measure those points that you measured with perspective to create the globe that you're not standing on, you're standing in, to suggest that those points are a map that has a surface that you could be standing on, to claim that the horizon is below the surface level you are measuring and dealing with when you measure the perspective of the stars. Ergo, they've ignored the perspective they created the model and inferred Earth curve with to remove it with a orthographic view and suggest that a flat Earth measurement and derivation from eye level can give you a non-perspective view of an Earth curve based on the perspective you measured in the first place. But Wandek's summary was far more concise. Well done, Wandek. That was epic.
You got all of that out of that? They just hijacked perspective. I thought.
Yes, he detailed every point I just went through. Say it again, Wandek. You detailed every single point I just went through.
Why would I do that in its spaghetti logic? Like what?
That's what you got to do to believe you're on a globe. I agree. Spaghetti logic.
I believe in gravity. Do you?
No.
Noodle brain.
Hold on.
Belief.
Just
If you
one
have a
guy at a
belief
time.
system-
Some guy's just piped up and is now talking about gravity. Whoever that was, what's your name?
Yeah, it was me. KP.
AP.
Gravity.
Hey, you can believe whatever you like. If you want to believe in gravity, that's fine. We understand the base premise that gets you to your belief in gravity, which we could explain if you're a tolerant human being and would tolerate us explaining where your belief in gravity comes from. But a belief in a force
I
of
got
gravity...
it when I got my master's.
Oh, my
so
bad.
good.
I
don't
was
need you to
obviously
teach
finished.
me.
You go ahead.
Well, you're trying to teach me something I was already taught by a more intelligent group of people. So
Yeah, you have a PhD in
what would
vocal
I?
burn, bro.
Whoever's off mute, I
What do
can't
you
hear the
have
guy
yours
who I
in?
was originally talking to. This AP guy is the only person I want to hear.
It's new.
Yeah, you know who I am. Gravity.
I
It's a
don't know who you are.
phenomenon.
Who are you?
KP.
AP.
Gravity phenomenon. Where it comes from, how does it act on things? It doesn't stop acting when things get large. So the planet we exist on, gravity acts on it. How do you imagine you can get some flat Earth with what uniform gravity? How does that work?
Which gravity?
Uniform.
That's not a type
Generally
of gravity.
uniform.
That's not a type of gravity.
Like, how do you get that on a flat Earth?
Sorry, which type of gravity? The response I heard was uniform. That's not a type of gravity.
There's only one type of gravity, and
No,
the
there isn't. There's
distribution
5.
of it is
That's
uniform.
incorrect.
We
Stop.
call
Will I
it
correct
uniform
you?
when
Just
it's
stop.
uniform.
You just said one type. Incorrect. There's 5.
There's 5 different types of
Yes.
gravity.
Which one are you talking about? You said there's only one. I've now corrected you. There's 5. Do you know which one you're talking about? If not, maybe I can figure it out based on... If not, if you don't mind, maybe I can figure out which gravity you believe in based on a few questions I'll have to ask you. I appreciate that I'm still talking and you need to talk through me. The server's not going to tolerate this, AP. If you just keep yammering through the top of me, they'll eventually just shut you up.
You're doing,
yeah, you're just yammering
Just
to me,
wait,
mate.
dude.
Now,
Just wait, dude.
now
He'll give you a punchline.
Mia's now piped up. I don't need anybody other than this AP guy. I also do need him to actually listen and not yammer through the conclusion of each of my statements by talking as I'm talking. If that's okay by you, AP. Good. So, AP, which gravity you don't know, it seems, because you only think there's one and you're wrong.
I'm of the position you're in the absolute wrong. So what's your 5? I'll take that position instead. I have more confidence in myself than you.
I'm not claiming this. You are. So you tell me it's your claim. I'm not going to tell you what the 5 gravities are. I'm not claiming them. You said there's only one. You were wrong. Excuse me, I'm replying. It seems the rules of engagement have already been defied. This guy's an asshole. He's decided he's going to talk through the end of my statements no matter what happens. Unreasonable. Globe-believing zealot. He cannot keep his mouth shut while I talk. He's now doing it, and the moderators will have to step in. And there they are, stepping right in, shutting your dumb ass down because you can't tolerate. A flat earther pointing out that he knows more about your own claim than you do. You said there's only one. You're surrounded by people who know you're wrong, Dumbo. Think you're going to challenge me on this? You are wrong. Now, I'm not going to justify what your claim of gravity is by giving them to you. Yeah? There's enough people around me who know I'm right to shut you down immediately when you tell me I'm wrong because they know I'm not. Now, I'll ask you again. We'll see if you can cope by giving an actual answer. Which gravity do you think you have a belief in? No? Well, that's the end of that conversation then.
That didn't go down very well, did it?
Well, you'd need a horizontal plane of reference to describe down.
Didn't they once say the direction of gravity? I think I heard that in politics one time.
I don't know. Half the time when people come along and claim gravity, you don't get very far in the conversation before they're railroading you, chanting through you, and telling you there's only one of them, and then asking you to tell you what the ignorance they hold has as the other explanations they don't know about. Oh, dear. I know, these people are very stupid.
I don't really get how you go into how you got confidence in your position. and then literally ask the direct question afterwards, and then silence.
Yeah.
How does that work, buddy?
Idiots. Dunning-Kruger, it's called. It's where you think your ability is far higher than what you actually know and have as an ability. The guy who goes into his exam going, I've got this. It's just easy. Can ace this. It comes out. How'd you do? Fantastic. So well. I know everything. Yeah, guy gets an F. That's Dunning-Kruger. That's this guy. I'm going to do really well. Well, what are you going to say about gravity? Gravity, gravity. Which one? There's only one. No, there isn't, Dumbo.
Yeah, but Nathan, now, what if there's a new audience member? They're just tuning in. They're not going to understand what's going on.
I don't care. Sorry, is it my claim? Do I need to educate an audience on a ball believer's version of a gravity that he thinks there's only one of? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, maybe our opponent, the guy who brought it up, the guy who suggested it and put it to me, could explain it. Oh, no, absolutely not. The guy's a Burke.
Well, he gave us a new gravity, uniform.
Uniform gravity? I told him that wasn't a gravity. He didn't really respond to that either.
I thought he said unicorn.
Maybe. Sorry, man. I was going to say,
all this actually makes sense to me now.
Oh, there's a new guy talking. Sorry, Chocolate. Who was that in Discord?
All good.
Hello, I'm Get Beget. I just wanted to say that it makes sense to me now why they all will be chipped, just like cattle and pets, you know.
Okay, well, I'm glad you know that now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, Dunning-Kruger.
Say something.
Say again, Neil.
Chocolate was trying to say something before.
Yeah, Chocolate.
No, just in response to Neil, he said somebody new turned it on and they might not know what's going on, but if depending on the time they turned it on, what they would have heard is a Glober that had confidence in their position and then go into hibernation when asked a direct question.
You might be looking it up. Might be looking it up. It's still here. Still off mute.
And you think if they want to talk about some gravity or whichever gravity he wants to talk about, unicorn gravity or whatever he said, come and talk about it, or just put your thoughts forward and present some evidence on this gravity that you feel is, happening in nature around us.
No, what's happening now is what happened with my children. He's indoctrinated. He had teachers that were far more educated than Nathan that taught him about this. It's indoctrination.
Yeah, they don't know they're in a cult. Very few people who are in a cult realise they're in a cult, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're in a cult. A cult of
And
sky
they get
vacuums.
angry when you try to pull them out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you become the bad guy. What's that? You think there's men that go to a sky vacuum? I should believe in your gods. I should become your god and become an astronaut and go to Narnia to take pictures of gas not filling space. Nah, that's silly. That's fundamentalism. That's zealotry. That's being a fundy with a cult that you believe in. Sad.
Yeah. And before you want to talk about, flat earthers are a cult. No. We're just talking about the ground. There's no cult about the ground. It's just how we use it, how it's measured, right? There's nothing culty about it. But your belief in uniform gravity or belief that you could be an astronaut in space in a vacuum, see, all of that sounds quite culty.
Very
Thinking that
culty.
you're on the outside of a magical spinning water ball flying around in a vacuum. That sounds a little culty. Sorry.
Just a little bit kooky. Just a little bit bonkers. On a ball in a sky vacuum, thousands of miles an hour. Really? Okay, nutcases. What's that? I'm in a cult. No. When I say Earth's measured flat for the maps and the journeys and the flying and the boating and the building and no, we do. We measure it flat. Furthermore, your stupid, funny, idiotic sphere belief with you flying around in a sky vacuum, that's made with those flat Earth measurements. But what I'm in a cult. Oh, no, you really don't know what's going on here, do you sad individual? You're in a cult. What's that? I should have my children taken off me? Oh, no, that's not at all like a culty response for me telling you how Earth's measured. Right?
Well, I did read an article that they found caves on the moon to protect the astronauts when they go on the moon in the next 5 years.
All right.
So by 2030, they're going to be on the moon again, Nathan.
Is that right? No, they won't be. They never went to the moon because it involves travelling past high-pressure gas into an area the gas could be but isn't filling, called a sky vacuum at 10 to the minus 17 tour. To travel through it, wave goodbye to gas at the Kármán line. It's all garbage. Gas would fill the area that the claim to be journey to the moon. That's an area of volume the gas can fill. If the rockets can go into it, so
Oh
can
my
the high
God.
pressure gas.
Oh my God, this sounds like blasphemy. I mean, you guys don't believe that Barbie doll was into space like 2 weeks ago on ISS?
No, the ISS is claimed
No,
to be
it's
in the
all
sky vacuum.
they shot it in a movie theater, dude. It's all
Yeah.
fake.
They sent 10 Barbie dolls to astronauts on ISS 2 weeks ago on Barbie doll anniversary, 70th year anniversary, and they show on TV all those ESA and ISS astronauts playing with Barbie dolls on the ISS. Let's do
Above
science.
globe
Yeah.
Earth. Above
No, I
globe
totally
Earth.
believe it.
Something.
I totally believe
Anyway,
it.
Hang on a minute.
I
Hang
guess
on a
we're gonna
minute.
Also,
make
do you remember-
Ken? What
movies
about
until
Ken?
we die, faking it. You know.
Again, SP.
Well,
Again,
thank God
SP.
tax dollars are being
Sorry?
used for good.
Hold on a second. The guy we were talking to earlier piped up.
Dude, speak up. You said something about faking movies forever. Speak up.
He said we too.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna keep faking in higher quality the ISS like videos of Earth, and yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that until perpetuity, like thousands of years from now.
Whoever's
We're gonna
off
keep doing
mute,
this
old
stupid
something, old guy, old Hosburn, old guy, stop. I want to hear what the
Juhas, you
guy's got
sound
to
like you're
say.
in a blender.
Now he's talking through me. I want to hear what you've got to say, mate. I'm trying to stop the other guy rumpusing you. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, it would seem as like anytime we get like videos above this Earth that show it to be a certain way, you guys are gonna claim it's like doctored or fake. So I guess as the quality of video increases into the future, past 8K and everything, like 400 frames per second, you guys are gonna keep claiming this, I guess, yeah? It's gonna
Like,
keep working out for you.
Let me know when you're done.
Frames per second.
I wasn't talking to you.
Means
I
that
wasn't
you
talking
can't
to you.
fake it
I wasn't
anymore.
talking to you. I just asked the guy. Let me know when you're done. SP.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that
This
it?
highlights the absurdity of your position. It wasn't obvious.
Is this protracted silence you not letting me know that you're done? Have you got more to add?
Yes,
Go
sir,
ahead.
That's it.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Go ahead if you've got more to add.
I have nothing more to add. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for letting me know you were done. No, you see, the ISS is claimed to be looking back at high-pressure gas not dispersing into a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum. It's automatically fake. I don't recall me suggesting anything about the quality of imagery. I debunked the area the claim to be photos are taken from. I gave an example with moon travel. I said if the guys can travel to the moon, then the high-pressure gas travelling in all directions at high velocity would also fill that space that is claimed to be travelling through on a trip to the moon. The ISS is claimed to be in the sky vacuum. There is no sky vacuum. Gas would never develop pressure. We'd have no gas to breathe. It's not about the image quality. It's about a second law of thermodynamics violation you believe is above your head in the form of a sky vacuum for this ISS to be in. It isn't. It's fake because it's a violation of natural law. Sod all to do with your straw man claim that we say it's about the imagery. Nobody said that. I had, however, multiple times since you've been here suggested
Right,
that it's a violation of natural law. Now Radwin's chanting through the top of my conclusion and victory dance, it seems. The guy I told not to do it earlier has decided to ruin my victory. No, nobody claimed your straw man that you were offering up there, SP. Nobody talked about quality. I only talked about the second law of thermodynamics violation that the sky vacuum for them to take pictures from would be.
Yeah, space isn't empty and it's not a vacuum. They teach this to middle schoolers. So why are you trying to hold it to the idea of it being a vacuum?
Because it's claimed to be.
Why does NASA say it's 10 to the negative 17 torr?
Yes,
it's near
it
a
is.
vacuum. It's
Yes,
not a
excuse.
perfect
I don't
vacuum.
need any help, and I would like to
Nobody
respond
said
to the
perfect
guy's claim
vacuum
on my own,
anywhere,
Radwin. Thank
ever.
you for
All your
making this
posture is
audio
bullshit.
chaos where the guy doesn't shut up
No.
because you're helping. No, you're not. You're not helping. I'm talking to the SP guy. Don't mute the SP guy. Mute the Radwin guy that's interrupting this. Okay. Now, mate, it's a second law of thermodynamics violation. They claim it's 10 to the minus 17 torr. That's a very high vacuum, categorized by NASA as a very high vacuum. 10 to the minus 17 torr is the claim value. However, that claim is a second law of thermodynamics violation.
You're just
Gas-filled
afraid to
space.
speak. You just need to type.
What the hell is going on? It seems like the guy on my own side's decided he's going to destroy my point. That's the third time he's done it. Radwin, what is the malfunction with you? I've told you, please don't do that. Now got to now address you instead of the guy I'm debating with and ask you not to do that a fourth time. Try it a fourth time. Hopefully the guy from my own side won't rumpus me again. It is a second law of thermodynamics violation. You said it's not a vacuum. That was your last response. Yeah, it's a high vacuum. 10 to the minus 17 torr. That claim of a high vacuum, undermining your stupid nonsense crap that it's not a vacuum, is undermined by the second law of thermodynamics, gas-filled space. A space would be 10 to the minus 17 torr as claimed for your sky, claimed to be a vacuum. Hope that's clear.
It's not a perfect vacuum, so it would not adhere to a strict definition.
Sorry,
of
who
the
said perfect?
second law of
Sorry, is this a straw man? Did somebody
didn't
say perfect? Is this guy now introduced this word to straw man we with?
Excuse
It seems
me,
that me
sir,
interjecting
I'm
into
noticing
the
that you
straw
didn't
man's not going to
say
be
it while
tolerated.
you're
He's just going to
protecting
rumpus.
us
It seems
in
my
the
interjection's not going to be heard. It's not like I said that word. It's not like me pointing out that it's a straw man, that you've now introduced a new standard that I didn't use. I say the sky's not a vacuum, you say it's not a vacuum. I point out it's claimed to be a high vacuum by NASA, 10 to the minus 17 torr. You say it's not a perfect vacuum. So you've now introduced a straw man standard I didn't use. I've overcome your crap. I'm just going to say it like it is now. I'm not going to get rumpus. I'm just going to say it like it is, hopefully without non-stop fundy interruption, because that's what obviously comes when I win. No, dickhead. Are you deaf? Your garbage that it's not a vacuum was ripped to shreds by a flat earther who's smarter than you. And then I went to NASA, who describe it as a high vacuum. What that did was take a dump on the stupid crap you offered up last time. Now you're offering up a new variation of a straw man I didn't offer. Now let it be known for the audience's benefit, this is not enticing a response. His crap has been overcome. His only rebuttal to a second law of thermodynamics violation, sky vacuum, was to say it's not a vacuum. That's been dealt with. So what's now left on the table is the fact, oh, of course, rumpusing, of course. The fact that is a second law of thermodynamics violation won't enable men to take pictures from the ISS. The gas they're picturing below them would fill the space claimed to be a vacuum.
Correct.
Am I allowed to reply? You can't defeat an opponent when you silence them, sir.
Okay, thank you for your rebuttal. Can you now pop him on mute so I can
Stop
address
swearing.
that? I'd rather
There
just have
wasn't
him on
one
mute. He's given his rebuttal, which is by silencing somebody, you can't achieve a win. No, what I did was reiterate my point with you chanting through the conclusion of it. I've reiterated it and you've now hand-waved it and ignore it by suggesting that you've been shut down while you're chanting through it right now. What you're doing is projecting.
Yeah,
You chanting through the top of me addressing you like you're doing now is you shutting me down. Now your projection has led you to decide literally while you're doing it to suggest that you are being shut down. No, sir. You're projecting literally the very thing you're doing as you're doing it onto me. You're railroading me. What you last stated was not a rebuttal to a second law of thermodynamics violation, sky vacuum, to take pictures from the ISS, your claim, that has been refuted. Your rebuttal so far, it's not a vacuum. It is a vacuum. Furthermore, it's not a perfect vacuum. Straw man. Now it's I'm being silenced. I heard your rebuttals. Number one, it's not a vacuum. Garbage. It was taken a dump on. Second rebuttal, it's not a perfect vacuum. Nobody said it was. That's a straw man. Is this me not hearing you? Is this when you were muted that I heard these things? No, because the third rebuttal, winning isn't shutting me down, was utterly non sequitur because you haven't been on reciting your rebuttals to you. Now I will conclude, hopefully without a further projected interjection over the top of my victory. Gas fills space. Ergo, ISS taking pictures of gas not filling space is a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Being told it is A, not a vacuum, B, not a perfect vacuum, and C, being shut down, none of those are going to overcome the fact it's a violation of a law of nature called the second law of thermodynamics. I am concluded. You may respond.
Fatality.
He ran. He ran away.
Oh, he ran like an abject coward bitch? No shit.
This is what fatality does.
Yeah, so I'll take a further victory dance for the audience's benefit.
Yes.
From 2024 onwards, this is how it's gonna be. You, the zealot fundamentalist religious globe believer, telling us about your belief in gravity, telling us about your belief in calculations derived from flat earth measurements that lead you to the impression you're standing on a spherical surface. We'll be berating you with righteous indignation for the stupidity we have to tolerate from you. Not only the stupidity, the abject ignorance that you hold in lieu of your claimed proof for your belief. It will be demeaned and your stupidity will be highlighted by flat earthers. And when you run like cowards because you feel that you're going to get away with a win by telling me that you've been shut down while you chant through every demolition of your fundamentalist sphere belief, that's not a win. This is a win. Earth is measured flat.
True. Mr. Nathan, can I say something to you, please?
By all means.
Yeah, I dare to together to actually correct NASA, because NASA themselves are using the term high vacuum fallaciously. NASA itself.
Yeah.
What I'm willing to say is that, to point out, is that the word vacuum is something absolute. It doesn't have a high or low. The action of vacuuming means to extract gas matter
No,
out of
that's
something.
wrong. That's incorrect.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, yeah, I take that, no problem. But in Romania, in physics, the way we learn the language, and the Romanian language is a little bit more complex than English. And the word vacuum in Romanian language it means something absolute.
Something what?
So you don't have degrees of comparison like higher or lower. When 10 to the minus 17 torr is a very low air pressure.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Right,
It
yeah,
is
absolutely.
it is I think 100,000 of a trillionth of a torr. So that is one very, very, very small fraction above 0 torr. It probably is the smallest fraction we can I don't think we can actually physically achieve such pressure gauges
No, we
to
can't.
measure with this degree of precision. Yeah.
No, well, we can't achieve it. 10 to the minus 6 is all we've achieved in 6-foot thick
Yes.
vacuum
Yes.
chambers.
Yes. Yes.
You need a container
So
for the vacuum itself. To
yeah.
have a vacuum, you
Yeah.
must first have a container to achieve a vacuum.
Correct. Closed or isolated container.
Yeah, that's the whole point of a vacuum. The
Yeah.
differential is what you've
Because
just
in
accurately
physics,
identified. It's the differential in pressure.
yeah.
So if you're going to describe it as a vacuum,
Yeah.
you're just saying that there's atmospheric, hate that word, pressure on the outside of
Yeah.
a container, and inside there's less pressure than that. That's all it is.
Yeah. So the pump, that action of vacuuming is extracting the air out of the vacuum chamber. So this is an action which leads to achieving a vacuum, but a vacuum actually cannot be achieved. And also, perfect vacuum doesn't exist. It's incorrect grammatically to say it.
Right. We didn't.
Yeah.
It was a straw man.
But the guy said perfect vacuum, and that's grammatically incorrect.
Yeah. I mean, I get kind of what you're saying when you say, low,
Yeah.
medium, high. Well, it's completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
What you're actually going to describe isn't a variation in a vacuum. That's obscene in terms of what you're actually describing. You're describing how much pressure there is in an availability of volume. It's how many collisions you'd have in a given area if it was contained. And you can define it by an area.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that number one would require containment. Number two is a description of the walls and the collision of the gas particles on them and how many there are, or how little there are.
Yeah.
But saying high vacuum, what high amount of space that could have a number of amount of, well, then you're into the actual definition, gas particles colliding with a wall to measure. You're like, that's the pressure, though.
Pressure, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going. Yeah, and you're right.
Thank you.
Well, at
Meanwhile,
least they use
I'm
that word.
like deeply extremist when it's about using correctly the terms, and
yes,
people use these terms fallaciously and they have no idea, no clue.
I do want to pass to that Red Wing guy because I had to shut him down while I was talking to the other guy. Sorry about that. It's just audio chaos if there's more
Carry
than
on.
one. Radwin, sorry.
Carry on.
Sorry
It's
for that.
nice listening.
Thank you. Yes, you're correct. Radwin, sorry for biting your head off. It's just because of audio chaos, nothing personal. Hopefully you can hear me.
Oh, by the way, I didn't even hear you at all. So I was talking to Ghost, apparently. I had to restart, and then you all came back, and I heard you going crazy. So
No,
I
that's fair
figured
enough.
I got muted by somebody.
Yeah, that's fine. That happens occasionally. I could just tell by the way you were interjecting something wasn't quite right. But there we go. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. That was a fun hour. Time flies when you're having fun, eh?
Also have an interesting challenge for Obers, kinda. Why hasn't there been any vacuum collected from space and brought back down to Earth? Since we have
Any vacuum collected?
Yeah.
A bucket of it.
That's so crazy. What a great
You're
question.
going to need a container for that, mate. Hey, you'll need a container for that.
Exactly.
He's just taken what the guy... That was epic. He's taken what the guy just literally said and packaged it up in a nonsensical question. Like, well, if you can't define vacuum because it's only the amount of pressure that's in a given area or how little there is, if you're going to take the original, well, I've got a high vacuum or a low vacuum. All right, go and get me a medium one. Bring it back here.
I've also got some questions about ether. I don't have any positions or anything really.
Okay, I can tell by your caveats
I mean,
that you're not going to punt it to us. You just fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. I've just been dipping my toes into philosophy of science, and to my understanding, there are fields like electromagnetic fields, and you can't have a field of nothing. is there? Could you like school me on why that isn't required, or why it's invalid, or whatever?
What exactly are you claiming, first of all? That we've got magnetic fields. Okay, I'll agree. We do. We use them for pointing compasses and things like that. Okay, so we're in agreement. That's good. Now you're asking me about having nothing or nothing or something? I don't really understand the second part of your question.
Yeah, what is it a field of?
It's an electromagnetic field. That's what I didn't just say this. We use it for compasses.
Okay. Yeah, so like what I've been seeing is that well, what they were saying is that you can't have a field of nothing. So therefore there must be some kind of substance behind it that can have a field. So that's
No,
his
it's not
argument.
Like a magnet.
Mm. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
the magnet isn't where around it. The magnet occupies a small space compared to the whole magnetic field around it.
hold on. Am I following you correctly? You're saying if we've got a magnetic field, something must be producing it. Therefore, there must be a magnet, right? Unless you're saying something other than that, I don't really follow.
Well, I'm saying that, so at least to my understanding, it might be completely wrong. I'm not good, but yes. So like you can have this in a vacuum. Like you can also have light in a vacuum or very close to a vacuum, like 10 to the minus sixth vacuum. So since there's so little air, there must be something else having these fields.
What,
Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, no, okay. I think I'm following you. You're saying we can have magnetic fields, and it doesn't matter if there's gas particles in the way or not. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Like
we can have magnetic fields, and it doesn't matter if there's gas in the way. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else? I was expecting a question at the end. Sorry.
Yeah. So like it's a field, and to my understanding, a field is nothing without something having the field.
Like a magnet.
I think he's trying to ask the construct of the magnetic field. What is it made of?
What's a magnetic field made of?
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be honest, I don't know.
By the
I mean, that's beyond. That's
by the poles.
The poles of a magnet.
Yeah, north and south. That
Yeah.
makes the field of the magnetic.
Yeah,
of
but
the force magnetism.
But I have literally covered that like 4 times. I've said that.
All right,
Yes.
sir. I'll look. I'll end it now, and I'll look into it.
Yeah, but there
more
must have been
later.
something
Maybe
else to it. There must have been something else because so
Yeah.
far we have magnetic fields. Yes, and there must be something creating them. Yeah, maybe a magnet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's creating them. I just know that they're there. But then you're like, well, but they work without any air being there, like through a vacuum. Okay, yeah, I'll accept that. What's next? What can we do with all this information? First of all, what's the point in that? Knowing that we've just got a magnetic field and it must be created by something. That's great and all, but how's this helping us?
It is more of like a philosophical question: how you can have a field. There is nothing, really.
I didn't really get a philosophical question out of that, really. I'm still not following you.
That's wrong.
Hold on.
That's wrong.
Guy,
Go
he's brought up the subject. Let him.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you said there's a philosophical question in there. I really didn't hear any philosophical questions, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, like how you can have a like a field is a property of something, to my understanding. How can you have a property of nothing? Vacuum is nothing.
Who said it was a property of nothing? I thought we said we've gone from it could be a property of a magnet. You were like, yes. Now you're telling me it could be a property of nothing. Then I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like it's a magnetic field, and a field is a property of
It's
something.
not a property. Wrong.
Okay, maybe I'll just end it there.
Elements
Oh,
of
the other guy's
nature
jumping in
have.
again. I want to know where he's going. I'm trying to lead him, and you're interjecting, making it harder because I'm having to reiterate that I'm trying to talk to someone else.
Understood. I let you go on.
Okay, so what I asked you, you didn't answer. What does this benefit? How is this beneficial to us? What's the end result that you're trying to eke out of us?
Okay. I suppose the benefit would be a better understanding, but if you know like the facts, but
You left out a word. A better understanding of magnetic
physics.
No, sorry, no. Physics is a study of the physical and natural world. We're specifically talking about magnetic fields. So you left that word out, though. That confuses me why you do that. But you went, so we can have a better understanding of, and then you left out the word. We're studying magnetism and magnetic fields. That's what you've told me. But I'm now at a loss as to why you'd leave that word out. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, we're studying magnetic fields. Cool. So we've got magnetic fields. You've reiterated it 3 or 4 times. Yes, we have. And they still work even if there's no gas in their way. Cool. Yeah, great, I agree. Okay, so now you're saying, well, we should study them. What should we study? Well, the magnetic fields, presumably. But you didn't say it, and I don't know why. So, okay, well, we can study magnetic fields, yes. What's next?
I suppose that's it.
So, okay, back to my original question. How did this benefit us in any way, shape, or form?
Well, to have a better understanding of fields, good to have a good philosophical understanding.
Why?
Like that's how you have the scientific method.
You've done it again. Okay, stop. You seem to be connecting things that are disjointed. We need to study magnetic fields. You haven't got an answer to why. But then apparently studying magnetic fields is going to give us a better philosophy? That's a complete non sequitur. No. We can, and I mean, you can also study radio waves. That's really interesting. Yes, you can study magnetic... Whoever's talking, please stop. Yes, you can study magnetic fields. But for some reason, and again, I don't know why, you think that studying magnetic fields will give you a better philosophy. No, it will give you a better understanding of magnetic fields if you study them.
Okay.
But how does that benefit us?
No, it's just I don't know.
Could it be that you've got some new charlatan guru that's maybe leading you down a garden path that studying magnetic fields gives you true enlightenment and a better philosophy on the world? Perhaps you've been led to believe that that is the case. And I've just broken it down into its constituent parts. And all you're really doing is saying, I wonder what causes magnetism. And that's really all you're asking. It has no relation to anything we cover here. It has no relation to the nature of world. It's definitely a phenomena, I suppose. But that's about it. It doesn't help. But you thought it would give you a better philosophy if we studied this. No. Maybe the gurus that you were getting this from made you believe that you would get a better philosophy if you studied magnetism.
I thought it was ether.
I suppose it would be
I was getting to that. You've ruined my finale, John. You've only said 3 words and you've ruined my finale. I was getting there.
Sorry,
that was going to be the end, but you've ruined it. I'll have to do it now. I'll do it now. Nothing you've discussed is ether, but you put all of this under the subcategory or subheading of ether, but it isn't. It's a study of magnetic fields. I don't know why you've got the impression this has anything to do with something called ether. It isn't. Or philosophy. It isn't. Or better understanding physics. It isn't. It's just the study of magnets. Have you been duped by con artists into thinking that looking at magnets will give you a better worldview? Is that really what's happened?
No, it's
Seems
not
like
about ethics.
Does seem like it. You kind of told me a minute ago that we need to study this so we can get... You just told me 2 minutes ago we need to study this because it will give us a better philosophy. That's what you said. You've been
Maybe
duped.
I misspoke.
I'm not trying to insult you, but normally when people get conned and the person points out that they've been conned and shows how stupid the thing they've been conned with is, you know, you just told me that studying magnets will give you a better philosophy on the world. Physics. The physical and natural world will be better expanded by studying magnets. Now, when I put it in that way, do you not realise you've been duped by con men into studying stupid crap that has no bearing on anything? I told you it was ether, by the way. It wasn't. That was also garbage and nonsense. They've given you a magical word to believe in and then told you to study magnets to give yourself a better philosophy.
Can he define it?
He's a harmless guy that's just dipped his toe into ether, so I don't want to be too hard on him.
I'm not being hard on him. He come out of the gate with ether. I just want to understand, what is ether? Simple question.
The substance which fields, where fields manifest.
Citation, please.
Oh, I have no citation at all.
You know why? It doesn't exist. You made it up, or you're just parroting something that somebody told you. That's not what ether is.
Yes, I am parroting. That's why I'm so unsure.
No, that's okay. Who are you parroting, just out of interest? Hold on. Just can you...
Inductica.
Who, sorry?
Inductica on YouTube.
One more time?
Inductica. It's a small YouTube channel. Inductica.
Intertica. Never heard of it.
Oh, like in induction. Inductica.
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 All right.
Yes.
The guy's telling you that he's telling you about something undefined. That's ether. And calling a philosophy a study of magnets. This guy's a con man.
No, I suppose I misspoke on that.
I'm just telling you how it is, man. You can brace against it all you like. This guy's a con man. Let's try that a third time. Hopefully the triggered con E won't rumpus it. You've been conned. You thought magnets and what they do, magnetic fields, were something called ether. And you, because of this guy, were under the misapprehension that studying magnets, the thing you were hesitant to say, yeah, was actually going to expand your worldview, scientific understanding, that's physics, and philosophy. Now, I'm telling you...
I know, I misspoke.
You can just stop and listen to me. It's my fourth attempt to tell you. Not request an interruption. You don't seem to understand what's happening. In reality, mate, I'm not actually telling you. This might come as a shock, right? But I'm telling an audience. You're just amused, like canvas for me to tell a wider audience with you as the example. You have been conned. Magnets aren't philosophy. They're not ether. And they're not physics. They're magnets. You've been conned.
Right. I just want to clarify something.
Sure.
That he's starting from philosophy and then applying that to magnets and fields, including magnetic fields. So I misspoke there. Sorry.
I see. So you're applying philosophy to magnets. Why?
Yes.
Why? Didn't you want to know how the fields worked? I mean, preemptively, but if you want to know how something works, you put it through the scientific method. Now, if you're a con man, you won't put a phenomena through the scientific method. You'll tell your audience that you're conning, that you apply philosophy to phenomena. You've been conned. You know,
sure.
Let me tell you a little story. One of these con men, his name was Jaron Campanella, was talking about science like it was conning people. A reification fallacy. So I took it upon myself to tell this ether-punting charlatan con man what science actually was. Because he thought it was okay to tell people the physics and philosophy of garbage like ether. Now, when I told him what the actual method you'd apply to a magnet if you wanted to know why it was doing something that's a phenomena, that would be something occurs in the presence of that magnet and you want to know why, you'd apply the scientific method. Now, I went out of my way to explain to someone who obviously I didn't realise was a charlatan con man punting this grift of ether by applying philosophy to a magnet. Yeah, I pointed out what science was. You know what his reaction was? He went out of his way to tell an entire community that I'm a con man. Yeah, that's right. I pointed out an actual empirical method to establish the cause of phenomena, like magnets, or magnetic effects, because a magnet in and of itself, that's just a concrete noun. But nevertheless.
Hey, Nathan, that empirical method is philosophical, you brain-dead retard. You don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, was I talking to you?
It doesn't matter, you're a brain-dead retard. You don't even know what you're talking about.
He just wants to ad hom me.
That's what I...
Just wants to ad hom me. No, I'm pointing out that the charlatans in our flat earth community that use the word flat earth to punt other things that aren't flat earth. And what are they actually punting? They're punting this thing called ether. Yeah? They're called true earthers. Yeah. Not flat earthers, but you might have thought they were when you got to them. Now, what they will actually do is demean anybody that exposes their grift. Their grift uses philosophy to apply, what? An explanation to a phenomena? No, that's a grift. It's a con. It's a lie. These are scammers. But that's what we get called when, stupidly, I approach them to explain what science is. They don't want to know what science is because they need it for their grift. They need to explain how this experiment, maybe Michelson-Morley, sounds science. It isn't. It's just called an experiment. So that you think when they apply philosophy to magnets, you're proving some really important thing about physics. Because that's what you've told me. No, mate, you've just been conned by an elaborate scheme that makes you think the study of magnets will expand your philosophy and physics of the world. No, that's garbage. You've been conned by con men. And those same con men have gone out and polluted the world into distrusting an empirical method of science so that they can call their grift experiments. They'll also get on board with other grifters on the globe side that claim that they've got observations of suns that are also worthy of calling experiments. Yeah? Anybody remember me being called a scammer for saying science proves things? Now, if you still subscribe to Jaron Campanella, ask yourself why he's endorsing an experiment if apparently that's a scam. No. Pointing out the scientific method undermines Will Duffy and ether. That's why he's called me a scammer when I pointed out the scientific method to him and his cohorts. They need the grift. They need to tell you philosophy explains phenomena, don't they? Like we've just been told by this man who has been conned by them. Now, it's all clear what's going on here. We all know who the con artists are. We all know what they're punting as their con. It's called ether. Now, if that wasn't clear to you as an audience member, wake up and smell the bleeding coffee. You've been conned. And the people who are trying to point it out to you, well, you thought we were all scammers, didn't you? Well, what do you know? The people scamming you said the people who are trying to point it out to you were the scammers. Yeah. You're not very bright. If you're watching this going, how dare you tell me that my philosophy that explains the physics of the incoherent dielectric and magnetic fields isn't going to expand my philosophy and cure the world with free energy? You've been conned. Are you really that dumb? Jaron, Dave, Witsit, they're all con artists. They made you think they were explaining an entire world by telling you how to explore a magnet. If you haven't figured it out by now, oh well. Yeah, more fool you. Carry on being conned. I don't care.
I personally told Witsit in 2018, 2019 not to go on this path of ether because it's a scam, but he ignored it.
Jaron made his biggest mistake recently when he did the same thing that he did to me to a guy who doesn't make a dime out of flat earth. Yeah? A guy who's given up a career hoisting heavy weights on very long strings, aka like a pendulum, and has gone out of his way to describe how Earth is a level plane, exactly as we do. And Jaron comes along and says, you're a grifter, you're a scammer, you're a con artist, you're trying to get money out. And he turns around and says, I don't make a dime. And all he did was show all of the grifts that Jaron's got going so he can punt his ether scam behind a paywall for hundreds of dollars. And what do we get from the people who have listened to these scam artists? They tell us that a magnet will expand their bleeding philosophy of the world because they apply philosophy to it. If you can't tell you're being conned, right, you're dumb. There's no other words for it.
Yeah. Mr. Nathan, I'm literally illiterate in magnetism. I have a book on magnetism, and this book has 6,000 pages. I read only 300 pages out of this book, so this is why I consider myself illiterate in magnetism. But mankind has written whole libraries on magnetism. There is so much study and written facts about magnetism, and this guy the moment this guy mentioned about magnetism, I knew for a fact that he knows nothing about magnetism, not even the introduction. He says
Supposed
that
correct.
Oh, hold on.
magnetism has a property. It doesn't. Elements of nature have magnetic properties, not magnetic fields.
Like a magnet. Like a magnet.
Yeah.
So they're studying
Yeah.
magnets.
And if I ask him what are the magnetic field, what are the magnetic properties of elements, he wouldn't know to tell me how many magnetic properties are out there.
I just, when you break it down, you can't quite
Yeah.
fathom, because you, with
Yeah.
having done a cursory search through one book on magnetism, you can now demonstrate an exemplary understanding beyond the Ethereum's understanding. You were like, well, I consider my
Yes.
expertise higher than theirs, and you're right, aren't you? As sad as that is.
Yeah, when I hear about Ether, I know that is tooth fairy. It's scammers and con men.
Yeah.
I know.
And it wasn't until Jaren projected his con onto a man not making a dime was it overtly obvious to everyone around that, oh, I see, your income while you punt ether's threatened, to the point where anybody threatening it is going to be claimed to be someone grifting. Even when they're not making money, suddenly his entire argument fell to pieces when he attacked Level Earth Observer, who doesn't make a dime.
Yeah.
Everyone suddenly goes, oh, anybody you challenge is your grift. Gets called a scammer and a grifter. Oh, I see. It all makes sense now. Why? Well, because he's led an entire populace of people who thought they were studying flat Earth on a merry trail of studying magnets, under the misapprehension they're going to get a better worldview. And the worldview that they've substituted, that they relinquished in the form of a globe faith, has been replaced with a jolly trail of studying magnets. Oh, how wonderful. You've all been conned. I hope it's all starting to become crystal clear what's going on around here now. I mean, it's only taken 8 years.
I just want to clarify something. I'm not a big fan of Witsit or any of these guys. I'm much more fan of you because you're more clear, and so same with Quantum Eraser. Yeah, and I also think I don't know very little of magnetism, I must admit, and I will also say that I suppose it also makes sense, at least to my understanding, that the magnet is just causing it, and there's no ether. I suppose that makes sense currently.
You can hear
I
it in
will
the...
I will look
Sorry,
at
go ahead.
it independently more, but sure.
You can hear it in their disciples. Well, I feel if we can just study, insert long pause, we'll find out more about physics. Study what? There's a brain freeze, because they know damn well that if they just say it like it is, if I study magnet, I'm going to find out all sorts about the physical nature of the... No, you're going to find out about magnet. But that's what they've been duping you all with for quite a while, isn't it? Yeah? Now I'm not going to stand on ceremony anymore. Jaren's just a wanker. He's conning people. Now, as much as I can stand by the fact that if I want to charge for my time one day, there's no reason why Jaren can't. But now we all know I take that position in terms of wanting to earn a living. Now we can boil it down to brass tacks about what he's actually punting behind those paywalls. His grift, his con, his scam, the same one he said I was guilty of. Well, it's been a few years. Nobody's given any examples of me grifting. I've just pointed out how Jaren and his whole bunch of cronies are flogging you a magnet as a worldview. Hope you've all coughed up lots of money for that crap. Because now it's going to be really hard to relinquish, especially if you're financially invested in it. Yeah? But there's going to be more and more people that are going to start pointing out in the stark reality that it is. Excuse me, dickhead. You're going to tell me I need to study a worldview about incoherent dielectric accelerative forces in a downward bias that gives us the motion of the Earth that might generate an entire electric field to give us free energy? No, Dumbo. You mean you're looking at magnets, do you, Dumbo? Did you pay for that incoherent dielectric accelerative garbage that you just spewed at me? Because all you're doing is looking at magnets, and it's fairly sad. And anybody with half a brain not easily conned would have recognised that months ago, if not years ago.
This is very funny, Mr. Nathan. Did I hear that Jaren actually believes now that the Earth is moving?
I don't know, he's buying into an experiment. Sorry, what was that, Jaren? People who say science proves things are scammers. Oh, good luck with your experiment, Jaren. I'm sure that won't be worthy of calling the person spending £31,000 on you a scammer, like you did with me when I pointed out that science does prove things. But now you're into an experiment that we all need to take seriously because of what it might prove. That experiment. No, it isn't an experiment, you Dumbo. Yeah, we are definitely threatening your grift. That's right, yeah. The grift's over. Nobody's buying it. You can carry on selling your magnets behind a paywall, Dumbo. But I assure you, there's a reason many people have contacted me in the last couple of days pointing out that you're in free fall. Everybody's deserting Jaren. Well, I'm going to shout it from the hilltops, Dumbo, calling me a scammer about 2 years ago. Well, now the tables have turned and everyone's deserting you because you're backing an experiment. Yeah, everyone realises where the grift really lies, don't they, Jaren? That's why you're attacking Level Earth Observer, your biggest mistake, as he's not making a dime. Calling him a grifter. Oh, dear. Yeah, your lashing out in defence has obviously served you badly and people are deserting you even more. They're all contacting me, telling me. Yeah, we're all deserting Jaren, and so are all of his cohorts. Shocking, isn't it? 1 minute you're telling someone who's explaining the scientific method that they're a scammer. The next minute you're taking part in a quasi-experiment and everybody's deserting you.
Ad hominem, just like Globers do. He's using the same techniques, fallacious techniques.
Yep, using science to fraud people into believing there's a problem here. No, there's no problem. There's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy that if he had half a brain, he'd understand. Given I've actually explained it to him in the last week, you'd think he would have come out with that by now to a public audience. No, don't worry. I do understand. This is an affirming the consequent fallacy that requires an antipodal assumption. Is he going to do that? No, he's calling Level Earther Observer a scammer. Why? Because he hasn't taken it seriously how devastating this fallacy could be. No, Jaren, that's why everyone's deserting you. Yeah? Decrying science and then taking part in an experiment and highlighting how everyone must take it seriously is the reason everyone's deserting you. Meanwhile, I still get the same high praise from everyone who actually listens to what we present here. Same as QE. Same guy who presented this information in the first place. The guy that pointed out how science has got us on a ball when they didn't have any. Science, that is. Experiments, that is. Same fraud you're taking part with, Will Duffy in. That's why everyone's deserting you. Should have listened, should have paid attention, should have learned what science was. Or you are either in on the grift or being duped with science by Duffy. There's no other way to cut it and everybody knows it. Meanwhile, behind a paywall, you can grift ether with Witsit, can't you? Tell everybody that the magnets are going to prove their world. No.
Never. Magnets have always been part of the world. They are not the world itself. Yeah.
What about if I apply philosophy to them? What about if I apply a philosophical framework to them? What about if I apply a preponderance of evidence to them? Then I can explain the physics of the world. Make no mistake.
No. It's a lot more complex than that.
But to the crayon muncher that screamed out, well, Nathan Oakley, the scientific method is philosophy. No. Scientific method is a method. It is derived from philosophy. You're a moron.
Correct. I had a change of heart in regards to Jaren. It was like last year when you had an interview with him, QE, Nathan, and Jaren.
It was just me, actually.
I heard him Yeah, I heard him how he was calling you guys names and stuff, arguing about the scientific method, and I was like, "Oh my God, Jaren!" In my mind, don't say these things because you have no idea who you're dealing with, And yeah, he disappointed me, so I deserted his channel and.
Well, it's showing its true colors.
Yeah.
They're
Sorry,
all
I just want to
coming
point something out. Sorry, Neil, to cut you off. Yeah, when I say people are contacting me left and right to point out how and why they're deserting him. Yeah, there's an example. Like literally on a live stream. Didn't entice that. He just told us, didn't he? Yeah, Jaren, we know they're all deserting you now. Good luck with your experiment. I'm sure that science will prove something, right, Jaren? Oh, what's that? What science doesn't prove? I'm a scammer for saying it does. Yeah, good luck with your experiment and your subscribe account that's dwindling massively. Yeah, everyone's deserting him because they know he's a scammer now. So now it's time to twist the knife. Yeah, what was he scamming you with? Magnets.
I was okay. I was okay when he was making YouTube videos about Flat Earth, and he was making money out of that. I was fine. It's okay. I personally never did YouTube videos about Flat Earth or about anything, but and I was in agreement with many ideas about the flat Earth view and
My God.
the arguments that we present. But when he went on this path, arguing with you guys about science, I saw how illiterate he is. So I'm not following him anymore. That's it.
Fair enough. With that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow.
Well, you're not making any claims about how smart.
It was a desperate weakling seeking for attention. This happens in a herd, usually to the weaker ones. Whenever the herd is losing an argument or fight or whatever, the whole herd is turning onto the weaker individuals from that herd.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, yeah, exactly. It sounds like Jaren's fans are devouring him from the outside in. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I tried to talk. I mean, I don't know if this is really in confidence. It's been a while, but I tried just one time to get through to those guys. I said, I'm going to see what happens. And it was like, okay, I don't know what you guys were doing, like throwing science under the bus. We finally got like good talking points. We got the globalists like on the ropes. And suddenly you're just gonna like burn the church and make it seem like nobody knows anything anymore. Like everyone's starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Or you're suddenly bringing in claims of an ether and you don't even have a unit of ether to measure.
Then I was like, okay, you want to be the smart guy.
Hold on. 1 second. What is ether? A unit of measure to measure. What is it?
Yeah, exactly. What is a unit of ether in like SI form?
It's a cosmic piece.
Just because a unit exists doesn't mean it's true.
No, not the unit. What is ether?
Thank you. That's what I just asked.
It's a secret. $400, Jaren will tell you.
Yeah, Eagle Slave. Just because a unit of measurement exists doesn't make it real. Like seconds exist, but you can't give me a second.
I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm saying there is no unit of measure to exist in the first.
Yeah, you're right.
It's relevant though.
Yeah, well, it's got to define what it is first before you can define how much of it you want. It's like, well, what is it? Before we
Exactly.
start counting it out, what is it first?
It's sort of painfully obvious how Jaren and Whitsitt teamed up with a mega church super pastor, young earth creationists, and a bunch of debookers on YouTube to conduct an experiment. I mean, like this is like so. I mean, everyone's kind of saw it coming. You like, you want to be the. They pretend like they're the smart guy in the room, and all us other flat earthers aren't getting it. They're the one. They get it. The Witsit gets it, but yet he doesn't understand that he's talking to people who aren't even listening. How dumb do you got to be that you're in a room full of people who are just laughing at you, and you don't even realize you're not even in on the joke.
If you'll allow like 30 minutes
It almost seems like they went out of flat Earth and they discovered that the way out of flat Earth is a cost of $30,000 in an Antarctic trip to do better.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, that this is their swan song. This is their way of bowing out of the debate. You know, kind of the same thing that guy, not Ruhef, Ranty did. He wanted to like take, he had a booth of Bev.
Chewie kicked him out a long time ago. They just didn't follow the orders.
No.
They
What he's
were
saying,
removed.
no. What he's saying is Ranty had one final swan song, so he's gone out. He's got all these observations that defy curve maths when we were begging the question with them, and then he just comes back with, "Well, look at this lighthouse. It's behind Earth curve." You're like, seriously, really? He's like, yeah, I'm going back to the globe. Well, he's then subsequently vanished after doing a load of Amber Heard videos. But he's saying, well, this is the same thing. They're going to go down, affirm the consequent with an experiment, so they can really piss in their subscribers' faces. You're like, wow. Okay, but while that's happening, a lot of people have gone, what? They've realised what you've just said. Oh, everyone around me's in on the joke and laughing at them. Oh, I wasn't in on the joke. And they've gone, oh, well, now I feel quite angry towards them. And they've all turned on them all at once. It's quite bonkers. I did wonder why his extreme reaction was. It's like, why are you suddenly bringing me back up? Why are you, throwing your dummy out? What's going on? That's a bit extreme. He's very much on the defensive when I recently. It's like, why? Well, now I know.
Listen up, is this flat Earth related?
I think I can answer why.
It is very much flat Earth related. We're talking about somebody that's been in the subject matter for 10 years, that has gone from gathering up a crowd around the subject of flat Earth with good flat Earth information, and slowly over time turned them into Ethereans and true Earthers, and got devoid from the subject. And now it seems we're discussing the potential swan song of him going down to, I say down.
So what are you saying? That there's a chance that the Earth is not flat? What is your argument?
Huh?
Nobody was saying
That was complete non-sequitur. Let's just address the guy. Guy, if you're not
what is a true? What
Guy,
is a true
I'm answering you. You've thrown up a non sequitur question that obviously ignores the fact that we're having a discussion about somebody in the arena that's going down to claim a false dichotomy flat Earth versus globe Earth position. You weren't keeping up with the conversation, sir. Okay? Do you want to just sit back down, maybe pay attention to what's being discussed?
So you're saying what you're.
Yeah, if you're about to tell me what I'm saying, that suggests you're about to strawman me some crap I haven't said, because you weren't discussing what we were saying. What we were saying was there's an implosion taking place from someone who's taken a bunch of flat Earth so-called believers on a different path over many, many years. That's what's happening. We're discussing it. As for whether or not I know
what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it then?
What are we going to do about it? I've approached them and described what science is, hoping that these people who turn out to be grifters would understand the method and realise the error of their ways. What it turns out to be is that, no, that would jeopardise their grift. So they had to call me a scammer. Okay? You all caught up now?
Nathan, in terms of science, you said science definitely proves things, and I definitely agree with you. Science proves things.
Sure.
So do you take that to mean like that correlation can equal causation?
No. Correlation does not equal causation.
So if I was to do it like as an experiment, a number of times, heat with water, making it boil, for instance, and I did it again and again and again, at what point can I say that this proves that heat will cause water to boil?
When you validate
at what point is that correlation it causes it?
It is a cause if you validate it as a cause. If you vary heat and cause the water to boil, then you've caused the water to boil. Therefore, you know what caused it. The heat caused it. At that point,
so it's not limited to correlation then?
It's not. Did you want to make the conclusion through the top of my conclusion? Would it be better if it was your conclusion over the top of mine?
No, but you just said correlation can't.
I was saying it, and you started talking through the top of it like I'm having to do back in return. So, what? Are we going to have a reasonable conversation, or is my conclusion going to be clipped with your conclusion over the top of mine? Which are we going to do? Reasonable conversation or
Go
wanker
ahead.
conversation? Seems like wanker
It seemed
conversation
like you're
is the way
finished.
to go, right? Because
Go
you're still
ahead. No,
talking.
finish it.
I haven't taken
Go
breath
ahead.
yet. You're talking through me, wanker. Oh, fuck you. Get rid of this asshole. I'm not in the fucking mood. It's too hot. Just get rid of him. Asshole. Fuckface. We're talking about Jaren being a cunt. He's conning everybody. That's what we're talking about. Okay?
So I was thinking, comparing it when Ranty went out.
No
he
swearing.
he had a beef. Oh, sorry. I try not to. It slips out sometimes. But yeah,
Not
thank you
you,
for reminding me.
Nathan.
No, he's telling me not to swear.
Oh,
'Cause he's telling me not to swear. Not. Yes.
Yeah, I really am working on it because I do swear a lot, and I like Friday because I really try to think before I talk, so I don't let them slip.
So do I. It just irritates me greatly when someone asks you something, you start explaining it, and when you're right at the end, near the conclusion, they start
we
tipping your
obviously
conclusion,
have
like this guy just did. Whoever just did that, thank you so much for making my point for me.
This is British.
Clearly, this is going to be irritating. Me pointing out that, yeah, somebody's going to step over the actual conclusion, literally, as I'm pointing that out, some other arsehole. Yeah, that's going to get me swearing. Of course it's irritating. Yeah? Having a reasonable conversation means I get to the end of my conclusion, and maybe, you acknowledge it and then respond to it, as opposed to talk over the top of it, clip it with a different conclusion that isn't what I'm saying, and then readdress the question with something non sequitur after ignoring every single word you've just talked through. Yeah, that's not a conversation I want to take part in. That's why I swore at him and just said, sod this. Why am I having to get irritated with this guy as he tells me correlation is science? No, you're just thick. Now get lost, you stupid boy. Go and learn what science is. Don't yammer through my conclusions. Get lost.
Okay, so my take here is that with Ranty, he had a beef with Bev and decided Ranty wanted to leave Flat Earth and wanted to like take Bev with him or something like that. And at the end, Ranty changes his name to Flurspective, and everyone starts calling him Flurfer. So he found the Flurfer he was looking for. He self-defined it. And Bev came out smelling like roses. And I think the same thing is going to happen here. Witsit and Jaren are going to try to throw as much mud as your way as possible. They're going to exit the community, go on to some other weird super church thing, and you guys are going to come out smelling like roses.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they're trying to do it so they don't smell like roses, right? What they're trying to do is say that they saw exclusive evidence of the globe. And because of that, they can now leave Flat Earth under a valid reason.
Yeah, didn't Ranty say that too?
What
Like he
evidence
saw,
would that be?
Confirming the consequent with an assumption of
Yeah, they're
antipodal
trying to
positioning.
concoct a plausible reason to do it.
The sky.
No, the reason is
We've even
affirming the
got-
consequent fallacy wrapped up in an antipodal assumption. If I travel antipodal from my start position, then I'll observe a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. I see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore my assumption that I arrived antipodal on a ball is true. No, you've assumed your outcome before you've done anything. That's begging the question. You've then postulated that some effect you will see confirms that assumption. Then you've gone and observed that which you state will confirm your assumption, and therefore because you've seen it, it confirms the assumption? No, that's an affirming the consequent fallacy, wrapped up in an antipodal assumption. Doesn't prove anything. Literally, it proves nothing. It proves there's a 24-hour sun if they show one, which that may or may not happen. Even if it did, okay, there's a 24-hour sun. That's it. That's what it proves. Oh, what? I've got to assume I travelled antipodal on a ball that was derived from flat Earth measurements to make that assumption? No, I'm not going to do that.
And that's the scary part, right? Because that tells me almost like, let's say they were to find this 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Doubtful, but because I think it would have been found already, and we would know about that and not talk about it. But it tells me that if that's something that happens, Jaren would, or these guys would just automatically go to the globe because they're worried about it. That's very weird. Somebody who's been in this even longer than I have, and you're worried about that. If there's 24-hour sun in Antarctica, will that take? Will that change the way the Earth is measured? No. Will that change the fact that we can't have atmosphere surrounded by a vacuum without a container? No. None of that will change.
Well, hold on,
So
Chocolate.
I don't understand.
Well, if you combine that trip with the logical framework applied to magnets.
Nah.
See, Chocolate, he doesn't know, they don't know the earth is flat. That's their problem. You see, he used to listen to Nathan every day, him and his wife. And then he stopped. So he don't know the earth is measured flat. He's a believer.
Funny enough, though, he says that. He used to listen to us every day when there was like 10, 15 Globers coming in every day, right? That's back in the day when he used to listen to this. Now, all of a sudden, he doesn't listen to it. Now, not saying correlation is causation like my man before, but it's a little funny. It's a little funny how you talk shit. Oh, he just wants to argue and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But that's when you was listening to it, right? Funny enough.
Well, I personally saw over. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I personally saw Jeremy's channel evolution from the beginning, making videos, starting making money, and my guts told me that it will all be fine as long he's making money. But in 2017, when the censorship began, the purge of information, then my guts told me, okay, now in the next couple of years, I will see Jeranism turning against flat earthers, because obviously YouTube is not gonna be the source of income for him anymore, these videos. Therefore, he will become desperate. And this is exactly how it happened. This is how I see Jaren.
Yeah, but he claims that we're doing that. We're attacking flat earthers. We're not. If you can't validate something, we're going to address it.
Yeah. Actually, when I was in kindergarten, we had to say, like, everybody is exactly what they accuse others to be, like everything that you say about people around you, that's exactly who you are. So
yeah, projection.
The way I see it,
I just want to say I concur with what you said, Git.
censor us, and now Jaron needs money.
Yeah.
He's mad because we were so successful that Congress censored us.
Yeah, and when that happened, it became an absolute slog. I was coasting. You think it's hard work when you first start out and you're trying to get the ball rolling, but you're getting 200 live viewers and increasing. Then literally with one foul swoop, that all disappeared. Then it becomes a 24/7 job just to keep your channel up and running and exposed to a few more people each day, just a couple more each day. Literally takes every ounce of effort, right? Well, about a year ago, Jaren was like, "You're nowhere near as popular. You've got this whole barrage of crap." So I went, "Is that really the case?" So I went and had a look at Social Blade, and I outstrip him in terms of views by a considerable margin. Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, but you have to work all the hours that God sends." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, to outperform you with much bigger reach, I have to work really hard." So it's really upsetting when I'm being called a scammer because I point out how science works. But those days are over now. Everyone's contacted me saying, "Yeah, we've recognised the grift. Yeah, it is a grift. Yeah, it is a scam. Yeah, it was projection. Yeah, I've been saying it for a considerable amount of time. But now the tables have turned, and what was intended for me and my demise has become Jaren and his demise. And as it should be. If you're going to claim science doesn't prove things and anyone who says it is a scammer and then go off doing an experiment, expect people to desert you. If it's not obvious, then fine. Maybe he's in on it. Maybe that's the reason. He wants to cause a bit of dissension in the ranks. Maybe he wants people to become disheartened with Flat Earth. When he, as their guru, turns around and says, "Oh no, I affirmed the consequent and went antipodal, and then I saw 24-hour sun say a ball. And then suddenly a lot of flat earthers who are still following him become despondent. Maybe that's the game, for all I know.
Hey, Nathan, think you can do more $250 Zoom dinners than they can?
What, $250 what?
Zoom dinners.
Nathan's going to defend it.
Number one, I haven't got time to do Zoom dinners. Literally, I said to my wife, before the pre-show, I was falling asleep. I said I was paying close attention for 40 minutes. I wasn't. I was almost falling asleep in the heat, trying to keep my eyes open. And just before the live show, I'm like to my wife, I've got to get some sleep in before I do this book. Because I'm exhausted. I know I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm going to burn out eventually. Anyway, or do something worse, like crash the car, something like that. I don't want to do that, so I've got to get some rest. Now I've forgotten the bloody point I was making. I just don't have time to do Zoom dinners with people. And I don't want to charge for a secret. I haven't got a secret. I like offering a way of people being able to support me and get some perceived value. Getting the members show early as a member. Yeah, that's perceived value. Does it mean that I don't want everyone... I want everyone to see the videos. I want everyone to know this stuff. And it is a little bit crap when I see someone like Jaren going, I've got a secret. I couldn't figure out how to put this out into the world, but for $400 I can. You're like, oh, I mean, it's a bit crass, but, that's not my attitude. Not that I'm decrying him doing it. Everyone wants to make money in their own marketing strategy, and more power to them. But I want everyone to know Earth's measured flat. And if someone gets it early, then that's worthy of a bit of value added to someone becoming my member. But I still put the video out on my second channel. I want all and sundry to know about this information because it's useful.
There's some new things that this Duffy guy is releasing, information over time. And he, I think it was over the weekend, last week, he dropped the idea that not only will you see the sun in the sky for the whole 24 hours, it will also move left to right.
Profound.
Yeah, it was like, holy crap, dude. So it's like, no, and the flat earthers, Jared and stuff, aren't even challenging him on that. Like, dude, hold up. Okay, like, pull over, put it in park. Okay, we got to talk about this.
Nobody holds them accountable for anything. That's the problem.
Yeah, they're looking for Will Duffy to be like their Ether Moses to lead them to the promised land and out of flat Earth.
Yeah.
The Ether Moses.
Just moved to Colorado and joined his super church about how these guys reestablished their faith in Jesus and the globe because thanks to Duffy or some crap. This could be some weird origin story. I mean, there's a couple years from now, it's going to be like, damn, do you remember when those guys were flat earthers? Like, holy.
The problem is nobody ever held them accountable for anything. Do you think for 1 second if the Adam Meakin or Chocolate or I came up with something that is totally unverifiable, they wouldn't come after me?
Who they went after me? I don't know. Okay, they tried to kill me. They tried to put a bullet in my head.
Yeah, Trump. There's like violence is not. You can't talk about that on the. So I know there's a horrible thing that happened, but when we're live streaming, acts of violence are TOS violation.
It's terrible.
No, I'm talking about coming after me as far as validation. If I come up with some nonsense, everybody on the panel would address it. The problem is over there, they could say whatever they want and nobody addresses it. And this is what you got now. People going to Antarctica to see a 24-hour sun to go back to the ball. Well, QE relieved you of your duty a long time ago. You should have been gone.
I think we should annex Antarctica.
And the thing too is like people are like worried about speaking up because if they even challenge those guys on even small things, they take it so personally. You're like, dude, it's just, I mean, come on. Like, you can't hear any You live in a completely positive feedback loop. There is no negative feedback on anything you say. It's always a positive feedback loop. They're like, yeah.
I
According to
think we
them,
as
they do
flat
it
earthers
behind
need to
closed
embrace
doors.
the 24-hour Antarctic sun is in the celestial data and always has been. And as flat earthers, we should.
Good what?
How is
We
this guy
should
talking
what?
about?
Didn't hear the end of your
We
statement.
should have been okay with the prediction of a 24-hour sun around Antarctica from the get-go because it's in the celestial data.
Yeah, I should cut out there. I think. Let's try again.
Is it? What do you mean it's in the celestial data?
Okay, am I coming in clearly now? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
What are you referring
now.
to when you say it's in the celestial data?
I'm
What are you
referring-
talking about?
Yeah, a 24-hour Antarctic sun is part of the whole corpus of celestial data from CellNav and everywhere else, astronomy. We should be okay with that as a prediction as flat earthers from the very beginning. And we should seek to validate it.
When you say prediction, okay.
Right. Right. The
Prediction for
Tropic
what?
of Capricorn. Well, the path of the sun, as experienced from the equator, looking east to west.
From the equator.
You know, the
I'm
sun
really
follows
confused.
the Tropic of Capricorn, which follows the star trails along the Tropic of Capricorn, and we know star trails. We know which direction they go, right?
Which direction do they go?
Well, from the equator, they appear to be going clockwise relative to counterclockwise.
Oh my God!
No, I'm serious. And you're the one that turns around, but they're all going east to west. My point is, the sun is following the same track.
And what does that have to do with 24-hour sun?
Exactly.
Where's this data or data map?
Yeah, that's the bit I was interested in. You said we should be as flat earthers cool with the idea that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica because the celestial data suggests that there is. What data is that?
I mean, I'd refer to the almanac data and grab it from there.
Okay, can you show us that in the almanac then?
Oh no, I'm not prepared to go into that right now because I'm outdoors walking. Sorry.
Have you seen it in the almanac?
Yeah, as far as the elevation angles go and azimuth angles when they're tracking the sun, yep.
Mama.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're. You know, you can even see like time lapses of the sun from the equator over the Tropic of Capricorn.
No, you come back with your claim once you have the almanac data, and then post it in chat, and then we'll have a little look at it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of expect there to be a 24-hour sun down there too.
Yeah, I mean it's all modeled, not that that's reality over the celestial
That's not
sphere
a
model.
No, it's not modeled anywhere. Like I said, get your data, then come back and show. Till then, don't make the claim.
All right.
What about first-hand testimony? What about Robert Shortman?
We're not talking about first-hand testimony of someone that's been in Antarctica saying it doesn't happen. We're talking about what he's claiming is in the almanac. That's it.
Yeah, you can model it in Stellarium, right? They're grabbing the data from that source and other sources.
Model what?
If you pop open Stellarium, you can play with the model.
That's not a model. But okay, go ahead, pop open or open Stellarium and then do what?
Isn't it the celestial sphere, the flat Earth model?
Yes. Well, no, it's not the flat Earth model. It's just a model for the stars.
No, it's not. Number one, it's not
all
a
those
model.
positions
It's not
are based on a.
scientific model.
Okay, it's a
Number
colloquial
one, it's
model.
not a
Yeah, it's
scientific
not
model. So it's not a model. Get the model out of your vernacular. But besides that, okay, you open up Stellarium and then you do what?
Well, if you were to plop yourself down at the equator and then track the sun, you can speed it up over the course of days happening within seconds. You can watch it track the Tropic of Capricorn.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, though.
Right. So you can keep going with that. You can plop yourself down anywhere.
Yeah.
I've lived in multiple locations south of the equator and south of the tropic, And as I headed further south, the period of time, the length of the longest day got longer, and the sunset and sunrise angles got increasingly further south
it
of
depends
east
on
and
your time
south
of
of
year.
west.
Hold on.
No, isn't the sun to the north of you if you're south of it?
Well, as Neil would say, you need a flat Earth for that.
Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on,
obviously.
Hold on. I want to
We're
hear
all flat
Endless
earthers.
testimony. The guy called Endless. So you're saying as you travelled south from the equator, the amount of time that the sun stayed above the equator increased?
No. The longest days are longer the further south you go. So I used to live also on the Gold Coast, and it's roughly, you get pretty much 12-hour days and 12-hour nights all year round. It moves around by a couple hours. But where I am, I'm down at south 40 degrees. The sun sets at like 9:30, 9:45 and comes back up at 5 o'clock. So the longest day, there is more daylight compared to further north of here.
And in terms of where it comes up and goes down from, like here in the north, the more north you get, obviously, the more you get closer and closer to it being just above the horizon the whole time. So for me, at the height of summer, I'll get 3/4 of a full rotation out of the sun in terms of how long it stays in the sky and how far away it is when it comes up and how far away it is when it comes down. But you get what I would describe as 3/4 of a rotation. Is it the same as you've gone down south? What the perceived sun above the horizon does is greater.
Yeah, like so my sunrise angle, the sun comes up south of east and it sets south of west.
Yeah, same as me. At the height of summer.
Well, for you it would be yes.
Yeah.
But I'm out here. Past the equator, it's just as I go further south, those days get longer. Like if I've spent some time on the equator and your days don't really, the length of the daylight in the day doesn't change that much.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it
Basically
matches
nothing.
with Robert Shortman's testimony. So he said he described the exact same experience I get, summer versus winter. So when he was saying in Antarctic winter, the sun comes up, stays close to the horizon, doesn't go very far around, and then drops again. Whereas in the Antarctic summer, it comes up, takes like a vector, and then goes back down again, and stays up a lot longer, and the nights are really bright, so you don't need a torch in the night. In other words, it's really bright all day, but the sun still takes an arc through a vector and goes down again, but it stays light. So based on what you're saying,
I mean, I've not been further south than 40 degrees south. So.
No, that's fine. But it matches with what Robert Shortman's testimony is, which is to say that at the height of his summer, he gets a really sharp vector. He literally drew it on camera for us to understand how he was describing what he saw. He just never experienced it going all the way around him, and he said, if that happened, you'd notice. You'd notice. Oh, look, the sun's behind me, not normally behind that building. But no, he didn't. That wasn't his personal experience. But it's not to say that the path that you experience as you go further south doesn't appear to widen. And if it does, then I'm more than happy to accept that if that's your first-hand testimony of what it does.
Yeah, well, it seems to. That's how it goes.
But yeah, I mean, you could extrapolate that out. So, gleaming from what you started with, your suggestion was that, well, it wouldn't be unexpected for that to continue to the point where it stayed above the horizon the whole time. And you go, well, okay, fair enough.
Much the same way as you go north.
Yeah, you'd expect that, but that isn't the testimony that we've got thus far. Well, what we do have is lots of fudging of footage to make it look like it does that when it doesn't seem to do that.
Maybe it's because I'm a little bit of a conspiratard, but there is so many, I don't know, feast of nonsense breadcrumbs laid out about Antarctica that it makes me suspicious about all of it. Like all the talk of Captain Cook's diaries and just all that nonsense. It's just people were led down a primrose path to adhering to believing that they live on an AE map.
Yep.
And if all those people who have who have shallow flat earthers, perhaps we'll call them, it'll be disturbing for them if it's the case.
Yeah, I agree. We won't give a crap. We'll be like, so what? So you've proved that there's a 24-hour sun down there. Fantastic. What caused the 24-hour sun? Oh, because we're on a ball. Oh, so you automatically assume the thing you went down to prove, and because you've seen it, you say that your assumption stands. No. That's affirming the consequent fallacy. You're going to need to prove that antipodal assumption as a justification and explanation for the 24-hour sun that you've now observed, which was elusive until now, but well done, you've observed the phenomena. That's all you've done, observed the phenomena.
Wait, so if they find this 24-hour sun, I can't go, wee! I'm on the outside of a magical spinning water ball, wee!
No, you just say, I've seen a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Oh, man.
Okay, let's just try and spin this up.
The horizontal plane
Do we
to
all
get there.
agree? Is there any contention whatsoever that the sun can and does stay above the horizon in the north over a 24-hour period? Can I just confirm that everybody accepts that here? If you don't accept it, can you tell me that you don't accept there's a northern 24-hour sun in the summer in the north? Anybody not accept that? Okay.
Not seen it for myself, but I accept it.
Fair enough. Why is that? Why do we have 24-hour sun in the north?
And stay high in summer.
Because we're at the top of a globe.
No, that's because we're on the top of a globe. Why? Why does that infer we're on the top of a globe?
Yeah, you guys are definitely on the bottom of the globe.
Why? How does the sun connect to this in any way, shape, or form? Being on the top of a globe, 24-hour sun in the north, why does that say I'm on the top of a globe? Okay, so the sun's above the horizon. Yeah, I got that bit. Where's the globe bit come into that? It doesn't. That's the reality. The only reason they're using the south is because the majority are in the north. So they can visualize traveling to the bottom of a ball. That's it. That's the only reason it's been phrased this way. Otherwise, you just say, if we see 24-hour sun, we're on a ball. But then the non sequitur's really obvious. But if you can say, if we travel to the bottom of a ball and see a 24-hour sun, then we must be on the bottom of a ball.
Obviously, is the anti-Canuck sun. I said, obviously, is the anti-Canuck sun.
Didn't quite catch that.
The anti-Canuck sun.
Anti what?
The Canuck sun.
Oh,
Canadian.
the Chinook sun. Oh,
What
obviously,
the hell?
there's two suns. We just only see the one rotor blade at a particular point, because I can affirm the consequent too. If I travel across a flat plane and it has two suns, one being very elusive and only being confirmed if we see 24-hour sun in Antarctica, then we definitely have Chinook two suns. So if they go down and confirm a 24-hour sun, all we're doing is absolutely affirming the consequent that we've got a Chinook sun situation. Because I can affirm the consequent too.
The only sensible way to talk about the position of the sun is in reference to a horizontal plane.
No, he said Canuck.
Did he say?
Whoever
shut
said that,
up.
yes. Yes.
Did he say Chinook or Canuck?
He said Canuck. but
Canuck.
I knew what he meant. Well, I didn't actually. I had to ask him 3 times.
No. Ask him again.
Do you mean Chinook?
Chinook or Canuck?
No, that's how I heard it. But yeah, I was referencing the thing that he said on the previous Ball Busters.
Yeah, it's Adam.
Oh, so Chinook,
Chinook.
not Canuck.
Helicopter. 2 blades.
2 suns.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Canada.
if we see 24-hour in sun, we will confirm that. Or, I mean, alternatively,
have to spin
coffee
underneath
cup
this
caustic.
helicopter?
You know, I can formulate that. If coffee cup caustic sun, then 24-hour sun in Antarctica. 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore coffee cup caustic sun. You could go
I
on
mean,
all
how
day.
about we go for the own sun? Get 4 suns out there. Why not?
4 suns?
Put numbers on that.
That's outrageous.
Oh, it's outrageous.
2 suns,
I
that's
thought
fine.
I thought he said Canuck because I was watching the hockey playoffs and it was like 10 o'clock at night and the sun was very bright in Edmonton.
Well, that's lovely. I'm glad you told us.
Those are the
They're
Oilers.
considered Canucks.
Oh, I see. Is that it? Is everyone took it out?
They call them Canucks, if you didn't
4
know.
more hours.
4 more hours. With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to Politics Discord server for being such fantastic hosts. And, of course, thank you to my G Plus panel for making today's live and after show possible. Of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, checking out my channel, the second channel if you want the free Uncut and after show after the members get it, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.